the Butcher?
Yeah, tell us now that we're live. Tell me that story.
Well, I heard this was in the underground. Bullet Bob Armstrong, back in the day, his family didn't want him to be a wrestler. They wanted him to be a rodeo clown. But they said, Bob, if you want to make it, you're going to have to get your salad tossed by Abdullah the Butcher. And
this is bullshit.
He bent over, and Abdullah went to town. He even had his fork out.
Shut up.
Damn. I see. Here's the bad part: is I can kind of believe it because it was the wrestling in the '80s, or was it the '70s at that point?
All I have to say is,
see, I don't.
Very Morton was here. He would say harassment.
Yeah, this is all alleged, by the way.
I want to see Table for Three with the harassment guy, a ring boy, and Pat Patterson.
Oh my god!
Or even worse, that fucking ring announcer. That ring announcer was caught diddling boys.
Yes.
Hey, who hasn't diddled a boy?
All right, this is good. We've hit a new low here.
I was about to make a joke that would have made us super well. I was gonna make a joke about the U.S. women's gymnastics team, but that would have been fucked up.
Why do they fart powder into each other's faces?
No, because the doctor just got caught diddling 170 of them. I'm not even joking. He just went to jail for it.
Oh shit! I saw that today on Facebook because Facebook is my main source of news.
Christ, why are we live?
Nope, wrong Twitter. Wrong Twitter. Fuck.
Well, please tell me you were joking when you said we were live.
No, we're live. We're definitely live.
And the space are on the way.
We're definitely live right now. We gotta save the good shit.
This is why I go by J.P. Whitman, so no one can say, hey.
Nobody blames him. Here's
motherfucker! Take my name down now!
It's too late, Drake. Drake Duncan, it's too late.
Shut the fuck up!
What's your middle name?
Dude, we're probably going to jail, dude, for some reason. We're going to say something fucked up.
I don't think we'll go to jail.
Here's the thing, though. It won't matter. It won't matter until we get famous. Here's the thing about that. Once we get famous, that's when we're going to have to worry about covering our tracks. Somebody's going to say, well, they said this 5 years ago about women or something.
About women.
Oh, well. We'll just lie and say that those aren't our real names.
I'll just tell them all I'm transgender hermaphrodite, and they'll.
You don't want to do that. No, my comments.
On Rachel.
You obviously haven't listened to all the episodes because I've said some shit about transgendered people on this podcast.
Yeah, I know.
See, here's the thing, Drake. You think you're going to say something gets in trouble? You realize you're going to get a ton of shit because I say something sooner or later, right? That's probably what's going to happen. I'm a loaded gun, and what I say is not the best stuff.
Well, I actually didn't think there was a bad idea to use real names at first. I'm like, we're just going to talk about wrestling. This is going to be fun and exciting. We're going to be somewhat appropriate. And then it's just we hit like all these like new low bottoms of just debauchery and depravity.
Well, I didn't know we were live, so I apologize to anyone I've offended in the 3 minutes that you've heard my voice so far. Tony, are you bringing it?
Yeah, me too. I don't want to go to jail.
Oh, nobody's going to jail. Here's the thing. Like JP's words are not. What's how they do this? JP Whitman does not endorse the words that come out of my mouth. That's just the way it goes. What I say is what I say. None of these other idiots believe what I say because they're not supposed to believe what I say. I say
our corporate sponsors have nothing to do with what.
The corporate sponsors have nothing to do with this. This is still the pre-show, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm still sending out the link.
We haven't hit traditional, ladies and gentlemen. Is JP going to hear my intro?
Every time there's a pre-show, I like to Vaseline my gooch area. So give me a second here.
Jesus fuck.
I need to lubricate my grundle.
I actually, now that I think of it, I think this is the quality of standard. This is the bar. This is the standard that we've achieved here at the Phenomenal Podcast.
Listen, I don't care what you say. We're not going to get to the top by being the best. We're going to get to the top by being the worst, but being the best at being the worst. That's how it's going to happen.
I like
don't
it.
care how we get to the top. I'll sleaze it all the way, just like my boy Sleazy Bag. I'll suck and fuck my way to the top of the podcast charts. Hey, Sam Roberts, you want me to rub your head with my cock and put it in your fucking weird ass hair?
Especially the crown hair.
Drake, I'm not gonna lie. The more the JP talks, the more I want to make him the co-host. I love this.
Fuck you!
I still love you, Drake. Don't worry. All right, let me just send out the link.
From the beginning, we should have gotten him, but
I'm making a T-shirt that says "I teabag Sam Roberts Afro."
Please, please. I'll wear. If you make 2 of them, I'll wear it. All right. We just send out
69 Peter Rosenberg.
Fuck that guy. I hope he dies.
that bald fuck.
and a car fire.
He's the biggest fucking mark ever. He's a fucking lame.
The only thing that he's done good is I like Hot 97. I'm not gonna lie.
What's wrong with Peter Rosenberg? I like him more than Sam Roberts.
Fuck you.
I don't know. Sam Roberts, like, he's annoying. I don't know.
I've been listening to Sam Roberts.
You gotta listen to Sam Roberts' podcast.
You
He has
have
a lot
to.
of good ideas, and he does really good interviews.
Yeah.
Him on TV is bad because he looks retarded.
I don't only see him on TV, so there you go.
Yes,
I'm only
great-
judging him by what I've seen.
He's great as a voice because you don't see him. Sorry, Sam. If you ever listen.
I think Sam's a beautiful bastard. You know why? Yeah, you know why I think Sam Roberts isn't going to care about how you think he looks. Have you seen his wife? No, have you seen his wife?
Ooh.
She is.
No,
I've seen
dead sexy. So I don't think he gives a damn.
So wait, why don't you like Peter Rosenberg? He acts like a mark on his show. Like
no. I like Rosenberg. I'm not a huge Rosenberg. I don't listen to his wrestling podcast. I listen to him on Hot 97, which is the hip hop channel.
Yeah, I just don't really listen to either one of the podcasts. To be honest with you, I want to. And when I see him on TV, I just think he's cool. When I see Sam Roberts, I'm like, look at this crusty the clown looking motherfucker. I don't know.
I like to listen to the beginning of the Phenomenal podcast.
Yep. Oh man, that's why we usually put our best stuff at the beginning, because that's usually as far as anybody's ever going to get through it. Until we get
like this part.
until we get serious fans. That's why, Drake. I don't know if you noticed. Usually, my worst comments come at the end of the show. You realize that, right?
Yes.
I'm very strategic about that.
Del Rio in our show one time.
All right,
Remember that?
What'd you say?
Hello?
You there?
You remember when you literally threatened Del Rio in our show one time?
Yeah, that happened.
Fuck Del Rio.
That
He's a
definitely
piece of
happened.
shit.
Yeah,
He never takes ownership of his own fucking actions.
See, that's where me and him differ. I take ownership of me saying I would go to his restaurant and shoot him.
Well, good. I'm happy for you. I'm glad that you stand behind your words and what you've said and what you've done in your life. Unlike that piece of shit, Del Rio.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to blame everyone. Fuck you. You're a piece of garbage. Go back to CMLL or wherever the fuck you...
It's such a shame about Paige. You know, she had to she dealt with his manipulative ways for a year, comes back, finally cleaning up her life, her act, and then fucking neck injury again. It's just a shame.
Yeah, well, you know what? She should have ate more protein.
Wait, Tony, do you want to cover that too, Paige having to retire? Because we haven't had an episode since the New Japan one a couple weeks ago. So do you want to throw that in there, like Paige is done?
Yeah, we can talk that.
So we were going to cover Enzo, and then just Rumble and Best of the Year and whatever else.
Well, we're not going to talk about Rumble. We're going to save all that for Sunday.
Oh yeah, that's going to be the post show. That's going to be for Sunday.
That's the only rule. No Rumble talk today. You got to save it for Sunday.
Okay.
As much as I want to talk about it, if we're
show on the road,
you know what I mean. If we're going to do a pre-show Sunday, I don't want it to be us just repeating what we've already said.
I agree. I forgot because I'm a dumbass.
You are the dumbest man I know. I'm just
joking. And he's on drugs.
Show on the road, fuckstein.
Let me pull up the music. That's really all I have to do. Are you? I was gonna say, are you changing your intro all of a sudden?
No.
All right, you guys ready? Because I'm about to pull it up.
Oh, I've been born ready. Woo!
I am lubricated.
Good. All right, I want to mute you guys. I'm gonna mute you guys just in case anything happens, like sound wise, like some fucking clicks in the background. So say bye to Drake and JP for a minute. All right, I'm going to start the intro.
Hello, all you listeners out there. This is the Phenomenal Podcast with your hosts, Tony Musolino and Drake Duncan.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it has been over a week and a half, but we are back. This is the Phenomenal Podcast. I am your host, Anthony Musolino, as always, and today, not only am I being accompanied by the ever-incredible, ever-sleazy Mr. Hardcore Drake Duncan, but we have the smartest man that me and him know when it comes to professional wrestling, JP Whitman. Welcome to the Phenomenal Podcast.
Woo, 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 woo. You don't know shit. And that's why you got me. Yeah. Woo.
I couldn't think of a better way for you to introduce yourself to the listeners. We're so happy to finally have you on for a full episode. And what an episode it's going to be, because holy shit, what a 48 hours it has been. We will
Whoa. Is JP Ric Flair? Is Ric Flair on the show? Ah!
Drake is marking out real quick. Are you on a period?
It's Ric Flair. I can't see him. It sounded like Ric Flair.
He's always on his period.
He's always on his period. Well,
It is a period.
Oh, okay. So I see how it is. I mark out, and now I'm just on my period. That's wonderful.
Yes.
Well, that's marking out is being on your period.
That is true. And
yeah, that's right. I think I learned that in school.
This intro has gone so far off the rails. I love it though. But to get back to wrestling, because I
wanted to go along with it and fucking ruined it.
No. I as much as I want this to get crazy, we got to get this serious for a second, because we got to talk about, we will be getting to Raw 25 in a little bit, and we also will be giving our best 2017s when it comes to the best and worst. So we'll get into that later. But first and foremost, accusations rose. The music. I cut the music. We're getting serious here, because the scary world out there for single men. And
degree ultra clear blackness white.
Fuck that advertisement just played. But it's been a scary time for men, because Enzo Amore's are talking about what happened. This is her claim. So I'm going to play this for the listeners. It's a very short clip. I'm not going to play the whole thing too. It's loading. But give me a second. There we go. All right. This is from TMZ Sports. I hate TMZ, but this is fuck ads, man. I got to talk through an ad now. But this, like I said, this happened October 19th in Phoenix, Arizona, in a hotel room. That's where it happened. Apparently, there was drug use. A lot of drug use. I'll get to that in a second. I think that also might have been a possibility of Amore getting fired. And fucking, I hate ads. Does anybody else hate ads when you're just trying to fucking get information and do your goddamn podcast?
99.9% of everything. So.
All right.
For a second, you were saying that the podcast had ads. It's like, if we had ads, that'd mean we'd be getting more viewers and more money right now. But you mean the websites.
we need viewers to get ads. But all right, the video's here. I'm going to play the audio. Yeah. Like I said, if you guys want to watch it, I sent you the link. Here is exactly what you said. This is a 2-minute video. I'm going to play all of it just so we can hear it.
Couch, and he
sent it through what?
To
Discord.
Literally just pick me up, flip me over, rip my tights off, and just completely started.
I don't know where to find it.
Okay, all right.
Came over and
to start off the clip, it was he grabbed her, threw her on the bed, ripped off her tights, and just raped her. That's what she said at first. That's the first 15 seconds.
Trying to come on to me, and I was like, no, I want to get to know you first. Like,
she didn't want to do it.
Kidding me? Like,
apparently,
begging for me. Like, I have a million followers on Instagram, and as soon as he came
out
of the room, he picked me up, flipped me over, ripped my tights open.
I can't
and
hear
I was like,
nothing.
whoa.
I wasn't. You guys couldn't hear it probably, but it's basic. I'm not going to play the whole thing. She's just repeating herself at this point. But the basic word is, apparently he was hitting her and all this shit. So all this happened there at a party. I thought she was going to go through the whole thing, but she didn't. I'm not going to lie. I didn't watch the whole clip. I didn't really. As you'll get more of the information, you'll understand why I don't believe her story. So Enzo Amore, of course, denies the allegations outright. Let me get the where's the fucking thing? They didn't put but Enzo's attorney came out and said he's adamantly denying the accusations. There's an investigation ongoing, and they're not going to make any more comments at this time, which is understandable because obviously this is bad. Like I said, WWE released them. Then it gets popped out that there's some text messages between this girl, and one of her best friends. And the text messages show that she not only was they definitely had sex. There's no denying that these two had sex. Yeah, there was definitely sexual intercourse in between these two people.
They definitely did.
That is 100% for sure.
I was there.
Well, I mean, from what's going on, from at least from the information that I have on me, which isn't really a lot. Obviously, like you said, we weren't there, but these are the facts that are being thrown out on the internet that you can find.
JP was. He was in Arizona back on October 19th, but that's neither near nor there.
Were you in there? Because maybe you could have saved Enzo's life, you piece of shit. Why did I say that?
I thought I was helping him. Anyway,
I was gonna say I don't know why I said that like you were dead.
What's your thoughts on all this, Tony?
I'm gonna get there in a second because I want to get through everything. I definitely have very, very heated, opinionated thoughts, but there's just a lot to it. So there was text messages that surfaced where this
drinking beer.
Go ahead. I'm smoking an herb of some sort of flavor. So yeah,
medication.
Yes, but text messages came up where she's openly saying, "Yeah, I'm bitch, I'm sleeping in bed with a famous wrestler. Like we had sex and it was great." Obvious. She's all right. Well, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, those weren't real text messages," until she said that they were completely taken out of context. And then she said that the person that put him was mentally unstable and all this shit. She later took that statement down, 2 hours after putting it up. So there's that. Then, if you go on this girl's Twitter page, she has pictures of her trying to sell Snapchats of her naked ass with her vagina sticking out, covered by fire emojis, is what I'm guessing, for $40.
Ooh, that's a sale, man.
That's strike 2. Are you ready for strike 3? Because strike three is good. If you go on her private YouTube page, which she has 1 million followers on apparently, because you heard her say that in a video if you're listening over the podcast. She had video of how she faked her pregnancy.
Lovely.
So we have a girl who is admitted to faking a pregnancy, deleting allegation responses, and is also, her story's changed a couple times. At first she was drugged, then she was beaten up by Enzo, then her friend set her up on the rape. This is a good one. Her friend told Enzo that he could rape her. That was one of the stories that also was circulated.
Yeah, like a date rape.
Yes. So you asked what my thoughts on this are.
Mm-hmm.
This bitch is lying. 100%. Here's my thing. I understand that there is a serious problem in this country with sexual assault. That there is a serious issue with it. The Me Too movement is a good thing at times. This is not good for them because, like I said, the story keeps changing. There's somebody, her best friend is saying it was consensual. That's a pretty good alibi right there. You know what I'm saying? That's a good person to have on your side is her former best friend that has text messages from her.
Yeah, but is that person the same person who was allegedly setting it up? Or
no,
is
different
this
person. Different person. This was Enzo's friend set it up. Her friend had the text messages. Two totally different people. Because the person who also set up for Enzo to get raped, he's also being accused. But he's part of the accusation.
Okay.
So is that like that too poor person and like that Tony guy or something?
Yes. That guy. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it.
Not you, not the other Tony.
Yeah, that's why I said it so quickly. Don't get my fucking name involved with it. But when you look at everything that's going on, I'm sorry. I when I first saw this information and I messaged Drake about it, Drake can attest to this. I was like, oh, Enzo fucked up. Why would Enzo do this? I was against Enzo. But the more that I read into the story and the more that information I get, Enzo got framed. I'm sorry.
It's looking like it's set up.
Well,
go ahead.
Here's what I think, okay?
All right.
And I said this to Drake a couple of days ago, last night. Sometimes in this fast-paced world where we're getting information constantly and everyone is a critic and we always have our thoughts and we always have our opinions, but sometimes it's okay to sit back and watch the things unfold so we get everything, you know. And I was just talking about wrestling in general when I said this to Drake. But, you know, it can be applied here because at first when we heard it, you know, it's like, wow, Enzo's a piece of shit. Now it's like, wow, this girl's a piece of shit. But the whole thing that I think is, I think he got fired because, you know, if something's going on and you're contracted by the WWE, which is a huge corporation,
yes,
and they do all this philanthropy, they want you to tell them so that they can get ahead of it.
No doubt.
Yeah.
If they can't get ahead of it, then it looks really bad.
Yeah.
And, you know, they released him. Okay. Well, how many other talents have they released over the years for all kinds of purposes? Drugs, alcohol abuse, pill abuse, not being a good worker, this, that, we don't have anything for you.
There's literally...
It's not the end of the world for Enzo Amore or Eric Arndt or whatever you want to call him. I think that, you know, as this is happening, he's probably not going to be getting calls from any indies or any smaller promotions. But once it's
maybe
clear,
RWA will still call him.
Once there's justice in this, you know, if he comes out innocent, you know, he'll have a job again because he's a good on-screen character, you know?
Yeah, and honestly, I think that as bad as this is a very terrible thing for Enzo, and it's a scary situation for single men in general because this could happen to anybody. This almost happened to me a couple of years ago.
It happened to you because it happened to me, sorry.
No, like it literally almost happened to me a couple of years. I'm not even joking. Like I almost went through a very similar situation with a chick. But
all right, I didn't know that, dude. My bad.
Yeah, I don't tell the story much, to be honest, because it was a fuck situation. I went to a party. We were both drunk. And him and her boyfriend were in an open relationship, and they were pushing it on me. Yeah, you can bang my girlfriend all night. She's on the pill. You don't have to wear a condom. And then we had sex, and 20 minutes later, she's telling people I raped her. I'm serious.
Okay, I got off for a second. All I heard is I had sex at a party.
Well, I had sex at a party, and then all of a sudden, the girl was saying 20 minutes later, I raped her.
That's some bullshit.
When I mean, it's nothing came of it. Luckily, thank God, nothing came of it. Something definitely could have come of it. Thankfully, nothing came of it. But it's a scary situation. And as bad as it is for Enzo right now, I think at the end of this, because I don't think anything's going to come of it. This girl has zero evidence. Enzo has all the evidence in the world. Yeah. Right now, I can also probably. Yeah, go ahead. Well, I was just going to say I've looked at this from both sides, and I just don't see a lot of evidence on our side. But go ahead.
I was going to say, well, it's obvious at this point that, I mean, clearly, I'm not going to lie, for the longest time, and I would imagine several others, I assumed personally that Enzo's character was just a character. I didn't think that, like, Enzo in real life, you know, non-kayfabe was almost kind of a reflection of his on-screen personality. Like, he kind of is just like this he's like this exuberant, obnoxious, over-the-top, you know, loudmouth Italian from Jersey area. So he kind of really, like, what you see is kind of what you get. No doubt. It's kind of like Stone Cold. Stone Cold's on-screen personality was just an exaggeration of himself. I'm sure Enzo's on-screen character is just an exaggeration of himself. But from everything I read, it doesn't even seem like it's that exaggerated. But I mean, he's obviously a partier, and he has to like hang out with celebrities and all that stuff. You know, maybe he's just like, I don't know, maybe he's like insecure and he feels like he has to surround himself by money and glitz and glam and all that shit. But you know, I mean, so he's a bit of a douche on the surface.
Or maybe he feels like he made it. He is a celebrity, and he's gonna milk it for all it's worth. I mean, for Christ's sake, I mean, back in the day, man, wrestlers banged all types of chicks everywhere, even if they were married. Celebrities bang people all the time.
Shit,
If
Ric
you're
Flair banged
money,
1,500
variety, you're untouchable, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? It makes me think that the girl set him up because, she got the YouTube channel. She's selling these pictures. Oh, guess what? This whole Me Too thing's happening. I bet I could make some bank off of that. Who cares about this guy's career? Who cares about this guy's life? Because he's a dude. And dudes run the world, and now it's time for us to get our just due. But guess what? It's not just due if you're framing the motherfucker. So
absolutely.
You literally stole the words out of my mouth. Fuck her.
Fuck her. And it's just going to be a waiting game. And I hope the best for everyone involved. I really don't care that much. It's not a big deal to me because he's not like my favorite wrestler and this and that, blah, blah, blah.
You're right.
But at the end of the day, if he's innocent,
but it's wrong though. It shouldn't be happening to him. That's
exactly. If he's innocent,
I'm going to say that.
Then fuck it.
I was getting to a point. I'm hoping that he thinks. I mean, now that we know, like I said, for the longest time, I thought he was just a character. I didn't know he was actually a crazy partier type. But for whatever the reason why he's that way, he just is. But like you said, he's a celebrity. A lot of people do that shit. But he also seems to be a little more over the top than most that you would see.
No doubt.
Hear about all these other wrestlers going out and partying and hanging out with rappers and all that stuff. But hopefully. Maybe he'll settle it down just a bit.
No, I think this is definitely
maybe he's going too hard. Maybe he's going too hard. Maybe he needs to relax a little bit and fucking.
Oh, he's definitely going to relax while this is all going on.
No,
maybe he should cut out some of the partying. You know what I mean? Because you remember you were talking about. Well, no, you weren't talking about, but you were. Do you remember Drew McIntyre and people like that saying that they used to party and stuff like that, and they cut it out. So they can get get back in ring shape and
Jinder
have a career, resurgence. Maybe
left,
a blessing in
disguise. Got fat, then he decided something switched in his head. He started getting all positive, started going to the gym a lot. And then WWE called him, and then he was a champion.
Yeah, no, Jinder.
Yeah. We all start talking over each other, so I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
So
I've been laying out a little bit, but
so maybe this is a blessing in disguise for him if he just so maybe he'll humble up a little bit because I actually think that all the shit that happened to him last year kind of humbled him up too, getting thrown off the bus and all that stuff.
Well, obviously not if he's at least going to a party because at the party apparently this chick was on cocaine, meth, and weed. Now obviously I got nothing against weed, but cocaine and meth, yeah. Yeah, I got some against this.
Yeah, that's not good. Well, it just seemed like for a while there, I wasn't hearing too many frequent reports coming out after that. It seemed like Enzo kind of learned his lesson a little bit. Then this happened, But hopefully,
if anything happens to you while you're on meth, it's your fault.
That's what I'm saying. How can you say somebody drugged you when you're already taking some of the heaviest drugs on the fucking planet?
Unless it's somebody drugged you.
You end up in another state, and you have a bag of garbage in your asshole. That's your fault.
Garbage boat, trash boat, dude.
I think that what really everybody needs to realize from this is it's okay to have consensual sex and regret it. That's normal. Don't say it's fucking rape.
I think it's a regret. I think it's hey, I had sex with a celebrity. I'm gonna get money.
I think this situation, yes, but I'm just saying for every male out there. Like I said, this can happen to anyone. There's a dude that plays for Duquesne, Robert Morris basketball, Robert Morris University, who he had sex with a girl. They were at a party, they got drunk at a party, they went to another party, got drunk there, they went back to his room and they had sex, and then chick didn't like it apparently, and now she's claiming it's rape.
Well, you know what?
I just can't believe people are that pathetic. It's unacceptable.
It's a real thing. It's seriously a real thing.
A couple of butts that didn't taste too good, but you don't see me out there fucking doing them.
Exactly.
Was that cat burner or JP?
It's my fault I put my tongue in her ass, not hers.
Listen, officer, I don't know why her butthole was hanging out. I just had to put it there. You know what I'm saying?
My God. Well, but anyways, like we all said, that like it's wrong and it shouldn't have been happening, but hopefully all things positive come to the situation. Hopefully, this girl just goes away, is never heard from again. I don't fucking know. Hopefully, Enzo's name is cleared and come back, and hopefully he humbles up a little bit and takes this as a life lesson, you know?
Yeah. Well,
but there is one thing there is like the elephant in the room that we've been avoiding about the situation. You were saying something about what about the alligators' point of view? You said that they denied alligators and the alligators against him. What about the alligator, man? What's he feel about all this?
He's just hungry, man. He's just trying to get some food.
Oh, was it allegations? Oh, sorry. Oh, okay. I thought you said alligators.
Can I segue?
Please. Thank you. Yes, get the hell away from that comment.
The Cruiserweight champion got fired, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And before that, the Cruiserweight champion is basically on holdout with his contract.
Yes.
I was talking to Drake yesterday.
No, you're missing. You're forgetting another one. Another Cruiserweight champion is almost fired right now. Champion
got in trouble with his wife.
So we're 3 for 4 at this point.
Hold on. That's who I was talking about on the holdout. And then you got Hideo Itami injuring Brian Kendrick. Now,
I didn't know about that one.
Now, whatever your beliefs are, and if you don't have beliefs, chalk it up to the universe. I think it's the universe's way of telling WWE that 205 Live as a concept sucks and it needs to go away.
I disagree with you there. Can I tell you why I disagree with that before you get into your point?
I love all the talent. I love all of the talent. But if I watch SmackDown in real time, which I hardly ever do, I'm not going to sit there and watch 205 Live. I watch so much wrestling and it's never 205 Live. They need to stop this whole separate show and just do it like they did in WCW. Integrate them into Raw, SmackDown, and NXT.
Yeah,
have it all over the place. Keep it as a WWE title. Stop all this bullshit about 205 Live and here's the ring and this and that and blah blah blah. Because guess what? Nobody cares. Just integrate them into the show.
Well, I don't think it's that nobody cares. Where's the star power in the division? And once you get past guys like Cedric Alexander and Enzo Amore, the division gets really thin really quick. Now, here's my thing, though. Before you get to that point, I have a guy that can save the Cruiserweight division. There's one guy. There's one guy. No. He's this guy. He kind of wrestled for this Lucha company, and then he went over to Japan, and he won this big tournament. And then he went to this company called PWG and won this other big tournament. Twice, and then he won the championship. What was his name? Was it that's right. Ricochet. Why don't I get we could push Ricochet as a regular competitor, a heavyweight competitor, as you will. I get that. But there is not a better cruiserweight on the planet. I'm sorry. Neville's great. He ain't Ricochet.
I disagree.
Okay.
I think they're on the same level. I think you could argue that Ricochet's better than Neville, and I think you can argue that Neville's better than Ricochet.
Yes. I would agree with that.
Here is my argument. If you put Ricochet into 205 Live, the people who watch WWE don't know who Ricochet is. He doesn't have the star power. He has to go through the NXT system. He has to do all that because
I agree.
I agree with you there.
Aside from the NXT fans and the fucking people who show up at Raw with hilarious signs and dressing up as people, none of them know who he is. So if you put him on if you put Ricochet on 205 Live automatically and hype him up, guess what?
No one cares.
I'm a kid. I don't know who that is. Why should I care? I'm a parent. I don't know who that is. Why should I care? I'm a casual fan. I don't know who that is. Why should I care?
Point, man. It's hard to argue.
No, I have an argument for it because this is how. Because next week they're going to announce a GM and they're going to announce how they're going to do this. If I'm them, the GM I announce...
A GM for 205 Live?
Yes, if I'm announcing a GM, there's only one guy that I can think of that would fit perfectly. Rey Mysterio.
Rey Mysterio!
He needs to be the GM of 205 Live. It has
Wait,
to
that's
happen.
happening? He's coming back?
No, I was just spitballing here, but there's been talks of him coming back.
He said Rey Mysterio too, like he knew or agreed with
Well, I have a feeling he's going to show up with the Rumble this Sunday. That's the only Rumble talk that's happening.
Just as long as he doesn't come out as number 30 and we're all expecting Daniel Bryan.
That's fine. That's fine. That's why he's got to have one more Rumble. He's got to redeem himself from that. We got to cheer Ray in this one. But I'd make him the GM, and then I would announce a tournament that's going to take. It's been over a year since the CWC at this point. It's been over almost a year, 2 years at this point, over a year and a half.
Like a year and a half ish.
So I say we bring back the CW Cruiserweight Classic.
Oh yeah.
Now, am I wrong when I'm saying? Idea. When I'm wrong when I'm saying Cedric Alexander became a star through the Cruiserweight Classic. Now he's probably at this point with Enzo gone, he's probably the biggest name in the Cruiserweight division right now.
Yeah, I mean he was the number one contender for that title. So
there's a good chance he's going to get the title at the Rumble. Unless they do a tournament, they're probably just going to announce a match at the Rumble just so they can get it on somebody quick. But what I would do is I would have Ricochet go through, win the Cruiserweight Classic, but as they're about to hand him the title, Neville's music hits. And then you set it up. I mean, it's probably going to...
Ricochet.
Now I'm saying Neville Ricochet. I'm probably saying at SummerSlam. And you're cutting in and out, so I'm going to keep talking until you actually cut back in fully. Are you there, Drake? JP?
Yeah, I'm laughing over you guys talking over each other. Sorry, it's amusing.
Well, he totally cut out. I don't know where he went. So how do you feel about that?
I'm here.
Oh, you're here? Okay, there he is.
Okay, but we must all three hear something different because I thought only me and him heard the same thing because I heard him perfectly and he was talking and you didn't.
I didn't hear him.
He was saying we were saying that Neville needs to come back, right, JP? Well, both of you were saying that. Both of you were green, right?
Yeah, I said as soon as they signed Ricochet, I said Neville needs to get off of his ass because Neville versus Ricochet in WWE needs to happen.
They could main event a pay-per-view with that match as the Cruiserweight Championship, honestly.
If they take the strings off and Ricochet decides to do a double moonsault for one time in the rest of his career, have it have it against Neville for the Cruiserweight title, and people will love him.
Yeah, why wouldn't he be allowed to do a double moonsault if Mustafa Ali is allowed to do his inverted 450 splash?
Because that's a totally different rotation. That is a lot more dangerous to do a double moonsault. Have you seen the double moonsault?
I don't fucking know. I'm not sure.
You got to look it up because it's legitimately crazy. I can't tell you the physics on how he does it.
I was
hoping you had a schematic in your back pocket to show me the exact signs to it.
No, I'm still working on my one for the Red Era.
Oh, okay. So, anyways, I'm kind of like, I see where both you guys are coming from. I kind of agree and disagree with both of you at the same time. Like, I think they should bring back the Cruiserweight Classic. However, what's going to happen once it's over? Once the tournament's over? I agree with JP. I don't really care about 205 Live.
Oh,
nothing against the talent. I think the talent's amazing. I think they're all awesome, but it's too much busy work. Like, I don't want to have to go out of my way to go tune into 205 Live. I mean, how often do you actually tune into it? Like that, ask yourself that.
Well, I currently don't have the network, so I literally can't.
So I just know it's just like it's not a big deal. And also, like when they film it after SmackDown, they're filming it in front of a dead crowd because SmackDown's already over. All their favorite stars already came out. Half of them are casual fans, and more than half, they don't give a fuck. I mean, but I don't know what they're doing with it right now. Anyways, I actually think they're filming 205 Live before SmackDown now because they're filming the mixed tag matches.
No, they're filming it right after the mixed tag match. They just moved it back half an hour.
Oh, really? Because last week they filmed 205 before. I think they should integrate them into the roster and have a Cruiserweight Classic. I think they should do both.
Yeah, I think they should do both.
Live, I just don't think is a necessary shit. To me, 205 Live, I'm sorry. I view it the same way as I viewed like Sunday Night Heat and Velocity back in the day. I'm sorry, but that's how I look at it.
I think that they were talking about having a UK only show, but they haven't done it. And they've had Pete go across the globe, defend the title, defend it in NXT. I wouldn't mind integrating the UK guys all across the board as well.
I agree.
Don't have all these separate shows. I already gotta watch all this other content, and I'm a fan of wrestling, so I'm already watching other stuff. It's just like integrate it, make it a title, feature it here and there, let them go off and defend it other places because that's cool. The only show that I would want to see separately, and this is how I would want it viewed. You take females from the Mae Young Classic or NXT all over the place. You have a female-only show because I feel it's very disjointed in the main roster. I feel like a lot of the personalities have gotten lost in the shuffle.
Yes.
And you tape it at Full Sail and you show it on the network on a non-wrestling day like a Saturday. And guess what? I'm going to watch it because A, it's a woman's only show. B,
I agree with that.
Wrestling day.
Yeah.
C,
it's
already taped. So I don't have to be like, oh, it's live.
Well, see, I
don't have to spend a lot of money.
Yeah, no, I see the tape format definitely.
I'm sorry, but the concept of a live show is overhyped. I'm sorry. Now, this is going to be very brief, but I just want to say something real quick about the concept of live. Like initially, it used to excite me, but then I realized I don't know how you guys feel. We probably all feel differently, but I kind of missed it when SmackDown was on like Thursday or Friday. Like I liked it was at the end of the week. I like that I had a couple days to process and digest Raw. I don't like that it's the exact next day. That's why I barely ever watch SmackDown live because it's like I already had 3 hours of Raw the night before. I'm already like in wrestling overload mode. Like I need a couple days to digest it. I know it sounds weird, but like I liked it when SmackDown wasn't live and it was on Thursday or Friday, like at the end of the week. Then I'd have some wrestling to watch on the weekend. So the idea of live is just kind of...
Oh, he cut out the worst possible time. Oh no.
Yep.
Are you there?
Yep.
You cut out the worst possible time. You cut out right in the middle of a sentence. Go ahead and continue that.
Are you fucking cunt? Are you serious?
I'm not joking. I was so into listening to what you're saying, and it just left. I'm like, no!
Why did you... Yep. Well, maybe get better equipment, cunt. Fuck, I'm just kidding.
I think I need to get better internet. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, because that pisses me off, because I think that was like the best thing I said tonight. Anyways, I think the idea and the... Sorry, JP's saying yep, it's cracking me up. It's like the idea and the concept of live, in my opinion, is kind of overrated and overhyped.
Yep.
Because back in the day... I actually liked being able to watch SmackDown on the weekend, like Friday or Thursday or Friday, because I just watched Raw the night before. I just watched Raw on Monday. That's 3 hours of wrestling content. I need a day or two to digest the content and to process it, because come the next day, come Tuesday, I'm already in wrestling overload mode. I'm not really in the mood to watch more wrestling. Like it's that's why I usually don't watch it live, because I actually miss. I think like my brain was so programmed to watching SmackDown on the weekend, like Thursday or Friday or whatever, like how it was, because it didn't really move to Tuesday until like a year and a half ago when they did the initial brand split. So it's like I just think live is kind of overhyped. So like when they have to put 205 live, they think it's gonna matter. Like we're gonna want to watch it more because it's live. It's not. It's just I just think the concept of live is kind of overhyped and overrated sometimes. That's all. The only show that needs to be live is Raw, because Raw has always been live since except for a couple times and like a few times like in the late '90s where they filmed it on Tuesdays. But for the most part, at least since the death of WCW, Raw has been live. So
the whole reason they went live is because of WCW, and WCW dead.
Yeah.
True. I mean, well, here's my thing. I'm okay with Raw being live, and before I'll get into this in a second. Actually, I'll wait on this in a second, actually. But I'm okay with the live concept for Raw and SmackDown. I'm not gonna lie. I'm okay with Raw live on SmackDown because they've been showing the matches on the side of the commercials, which I think they need to do that on every wrestling program ever. Because I hate when you're having a good match and it cuts to a commercial and then like They're just going to wrestle when you come back from a commercial. So I like that side box they've been doing for SmackDown. So if they keep that concept for SmackDown, great. But have you heard the rumors that have been circulating with WWE? Their contract with USA Network is ending, and they've been taking offers. But there's been rumors that with them moving, if they move to somebody like Fox, or I think ESPN was even one of the names, which I would hate to see. They can't
move to Fox until the UFC show, I think, ends, right?
That's ending I think that's ending in March, I think. Which I think is around the time WWE's contract is ending. But if they make
next year, Fox.
Well, if they make the move to Fox, there's rumors that if they go to Fox, it's going to be a 2-hour show instead of 3.
Yeah, I would prefer that. I did read this article.
I think that would be a good move, honestly.
The thing is, if they went to FX or FXX, that's fine. I just think Fox broadcasting looks weird.
Well, I feel like if they go to Fox, they're probably going to go to like the Fox Sports, which is like FS1, FS2, something like that, probably. Because that's where the UFC, that's where a lot of USA stuff is.
Whenever I watched football, CBS was very clear, and Fox always looked crappy.
No, I agree. Yeah, I agree with that.
I don't know why. It always does. Same thing with what was the channel that SmackDown used to be on? UPN. Remember how UPN was always blurry as fuck?
Yeah.
It was like they didn't give us. And the CW, the second channel SmackDown was all look like ass too. Only USA and Sci-Fi were clear for whatever reason.
That's because they were good quality channels.
Anymore. CW actually put some money into their stuff.
Well, that's because they have all those damn superhero shows nowadays. They actually have money to put into it.
Like the Arrow.
Arrow. Now we got like Black Lightning. Like, what the fuck's going on? They got Flash. How isn't
Flash is awesome? Flash is awesome.
Now here's my thing with Flash though. We're gonna get to comics for a second. I don't know why we're on the subject. Isn't Flash his thing Lightning? Isn't that his logo Lightning? How could there be Black Lightning too? This is confusing as fuck. Comics are turning into wrestling. Too many people have the same damn gimmick. Oh, they cut out. That was a good joke. I didn't even get a reaction on that.
Fuck. Anyway, I can't find my battery charger. My phone's gonna fucking die.
Oh, that wouldn't be good.
We getting into the best and worst of 2017.
Well, we can do. I'll give you the choice. Do you want to do that?
What else did you want to talk about?
Well, I also want to talk about Raw 25. So we could do that, or we could do best of. I'm cool with either.
Raw 25, underwhelming.
Very underwhelming.
Very. If I paid $500 to sit in the Manhattan Center and got 2 crappy cruiserweight matches, a Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy match that doesn't even matter yet, and a confusing, ambiguous promo from The Undertaker, I would have screamed bullshit at the end as well.
Well, then they also, I'm pretty sure.
Did they?
Yeah, they screamed bull. Yeah, they were chanting bullshit. Yeah, that's a video. But I'm pretty sure
the whole DX and the club getting together and yay, great.
Now here's my
mattered.
Here's my thing with the wrestling. I'm pretty sure they only saw like 15 minutes in total of wrestling. Seriously, I think the Bray Wyatt match was 5 minutes. The tag team match was like 4 minutes, and the other matches were like 2 minutes.
The only good things about Raw 25, completely. Number one, The Miz. Why?
Yes.
Won the belt back, and he was one of the only superstars other than Jeff Hardy who went to the Manhattan Center afterwards.
Yeah.
Second off, the other great thing is Jason Jordan's journey into becoming this character is fantastic.
Really?
We always knew he's a good wrestler. He's been a great wrestler for years. Who knew that he could be a character? And
I'm not gonna lie. You might be the only person I've heard have say positive things about Jason Jordan. I'm not lying.
Well,
everybody I've talked to is down.
I'm gonna tell you why.
No, go ahead. I want to hear.
I can't stand him.
Kurt Angle. When Kurt Angle first came in, he was annoying as shit.
True.
He was annoying as shit, and he was supposed to be a face, but he was so annoying that he was a heel. And there you have his son practically doing the same thing, and it's getting reactions I hate this guy. Well, you're supposed to hate this guy. You're supposed to be annoyed by this guy. And look at Seth. Seth is becoming a different character as well.
True.
It's doing so much. it's doing so much for Jordan, Seth, and the whole paradigm of Raw's tag team situation. I think it's fantastic, and I like whenever a wrestler isn't like, okay, this is cookie cutter babyface, this is a cookie cutter heel. Here's a guy who you think is supposed to be a face,
cleaner,
but he's acting really annoying, so I don't like him at all. And he's going against everything that his partner, who's a veteran, is saying. So like, I don't know. I think it's pretty interesting. But
I can appreciate that.
Aside from the Jason Jordan thing happening and segment and the
Stone Cold,
I think everything else was just like filler and nostalgia and
wait a minute. What? Wait a minute. Time out. Are you downing that opening segment right now?
Yeah.
No. I'm saying.
But you didn't say anything good about Stone Cold yet.
I was going to say that was probably one of the greatest openings to Raw in a long time. First off, before you talk,
honestly, if I could take one thing away from Raw, that was the only thing I really fucking cared about.
Will you let me talk for 1 second?
That is winning.
No doubt, in my mind, I'm saying this right now, after his promo on Raw this week, Vince McMahon's the greatest character in WWE history. Nobody else. When they gave him that plaque, and he's like, this is all I get? This is it? Yep. This is it? You're GoFundMe, I get a plaque, and then Stone Cold comes out and he says, wait, I'm an AARP member. Don't stun me.
I have this heart murmur that just don't go with it. Won't go away.
That was so great.
All I was trying to say was, aside from those two things that I said, I think everything was just like, like nostalgia and like a one-off, like not canon to the storylines.
But I understand that. But
I agree with that.
Drake cut out again, motherfucker. Drake.
Stuff. What?
Stone Cold, Vince McMahon,
what
Christian.
Did you say about me, Tony?
No, I said you keep cutting out.
Seriously?
And,
yeah.
The Undertaker promo, all that stuff was cool. Seeing the Manhattan Center and the Ico Pro signs, all that stuff.
Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah, you're good now.
I think it has something to do with me being in my basement because I was upstairs and I didn't hear any cuttage outage, but I don't know. But by the way, what is the Ico Pro sign? I never understood what that was. That like a kind of like a sportswear? What is?
Yeah, it was like a sportswear company.
It was like protein bars and like shakes and stuff.
Yeah, it was.
Let me ask this: don't you? In my opinion, I think the show would have been much more well received. And just everything about it, in my opinion, would have been better if they had just done the whole show for the Manhattan Center.
No doubt, they should have done that.
Exclusive. You know what? I don't care. Oh, but you know why they wanted both arenas? Because they wanted more ticket sales. Well, you know what? I say fuck it. I say for one night only, have an exclusive elite. Also, I'd say ban the green shirt fuck from the front row. Make sure he's not allowed in.
No, he's part of the show. He's got to be there. He's got to be there.
No, I hate him. Everybody in the world is allowed. Everyone in the world is allowed fucking first come, first served tickets to the Manhattan Center for one night only, aside from the green fuck. And just do the whole show from the Manhattan Center. Fuck the Barclays Center. I think that was part of the problem. They should have did the whole thing from the Manhattan Center. Or if not, then just fucking do the whole show from Barclays, because I thought the whole concept of having it in two arenas in one night was fucked up. I don't think they've done anything like this since WrestleMania 2, as far as I know. And I actually never seen WrestleMania 2. Don't judge me, but I heard it was a bit of a clusterfuck.
It was
like just going back and forth from arena to arena and screen.
The only memorable match there's two actually. Was that the same one where they had Piper and Mr. T in the boxing match?
I think that I thought that was the first one, but no.
No, they had the tag team match the first one. I'm pretty sure.
See, I never seen WrestleMania 2.
Yeah, there was two matches. That match and the cage match with Hogan and Bunny. Those are the only two matches that were memorable on that card. I cannot name you any other matches on that card. I'm serious.
But don't you think it would have been better, if at very least for consistency's sake, just to have the whole show emanate from one venue?
Yeah, I know. Simulcast shit just doesn't work. But know what my problem is with both of you right now? Neither of you have brought up the excellent segments with fucking the APA. Those were so goddamn good.
I don't think they were that great, to be honest.
What? That was one of my favorite parts of the show.
I'm not gonna lie. The only nostalgia thing that really rocked my cock was Stone Cold. Everything else to me was just kind of fucking filler.
You guys, man, they had APA. They had MVP was there. Fucking MVP. Who thought MVP was gonna be there?
Don't get me wrong. I thought it was entertaining, but it didn't rock my cock. What I'm trying to say is, like, I had a fangasm when Stone Cold came out. He's the only guy that I will mark the fuck out, even if he just makes an entrance. That's how important and impactful and culturally significant Stone Cold Steve Austin is to me.
We all agree.
In my opinion, he's the greatest of all time. If there's anybody that likes professional wrestling doesn't like Stone Cold, I will literally fight you until you bleed.
So the only person you could have argued other than him was Hogan, but Hogan kind of fucked himself over on that one. So yeah, you're right.
I just don't know how in reality somebody can't like Stone Cold. He's beyond a professional wrestler. He's beyond pop culture. He's just the guy. He's the only fucking person who can come out. Like, I love all these other legends and shit. No one gives me goosebumps. When he comes out, when I hear the glass shatter, I still get goosebumps. He can be 80 years old and coming out and doing stunners in a wheelchair. I'll still get fucking goosebumps. He's the most important thing in professional wrestling history, in my opinion. And I still get pumped up when he comes out. I don't even care if he does a stunner. He didn't even fucking talk, and I loved it. However, there was an exclusive WWE.com interview where he was making fun of that one NXT announcer guy, like for an interview, saying, I came all the way from Los Angeles, and you only got one basic question for Stone Cold Steve Austin. You know who I am, son? I sold out arenas. I held a world title. So that was funny, but it wasn't on TV.
Wait a second. I'm remembering Jericho and Elias.
That was good.
I was going to wait for that one because I was looking at it. I was going on the screen right now.
I love that he was wearing the Alpha Club shirt.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome.
I've said this to Drake. JP, how crazy is it that a guy who just pretty much was the semi-main event at Wrestle Kingdom just weeks ago
was the main event.
Well,
and that's why he's going to start a feud with Naito. Because Naito's...
He's
going to be guys, keep talking. I have to pee. Okay.
All right, but they're gonna have Naito. They haven't announced it, but the rumor is he's gonna wrestle Naito at the U.S. shows. How crazy is a guy that is in that big of he's pretty much in New Japan right now, comes back to WWE, even if it's just a one-off, wearing a New Japan shirt.
Isn't in WWE. Jericho isn't in New Japan world. Jericho is in Jericho land.
Exactly. He's
Jericho does whatever he wants.
But just think how crazy it is the way wrestling is nowadays. 5 years ago, I don't care who you were, The Rock could have tried to do it. It wouldn't have happened. It just wouldn't have happened. But the way wrestling is
Brock
nowadays,
Lesnar left WWE to do it in New Japan. So I
mean, even that's a good name to bring up. Brock Lesnar, even him going back and doing the UFC fight against Mark Hunt is crazy to think about. It's just crazy to think of how far wrestling has come. It's kind of going back to the territory days in a way, where guys are jumping around more.
But in a global sense,
yeah, it's definitely on a global stage now, which is great. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Especially with Alex Great. Since Drake's gone, how did you feel about Wrestle Kingdom? Just in a quick review, because I thought Wrestle Kingdom overall was great.
I said I had Wrestle Kingdom, dumbass.
Wrestle Kingdom's always awesome. The match of the night was the two Winnipeg boys.
No doubt.
It blew my mind. It was a classic match. It was probably Jericho's best match, other than the matches that you can't talk about.
But what do you mean you can't talk about them?
Because fucking there's a killer in them.
Because what?
There's a killer in them.
What are you talking about?
Benoit!
You're talking about Wrestle Kingdom, I thought.
Yeah, he's talking about Jericho.
I said it was his best match, other than the matches you can't talk about.
Oh, Drake, catch up with the program, man. We're just making fun of you. Don't worry.
I thought you were talking about other matches on the Wrestle Kingdom card. You're talking about Jericho's matches with Twix Bar. Yes. That's an inside joke. Tim, were you ever part of the inside joke about Benoit and the Twix Bar, or did you miss that?
I have no fucking clue.
I don't think anybody has a clue what you're talking about.
So you remember the commercials you chewed over with the Twix? Yeah, Ben and I always joke that WWE chewed over Benoit's existence with the Twix. So every time someone goes, You remember how in the commercial they'd hit the pause button and they chewed it with the Twix?
Yeah.
Every time Ben and I would joke that when anybody talks about Benoit, you hit the pause button. There's a picture. Somebody's about to say mention Benoit in front of Vince. Vince pauses reality and just eats a Twix bar and just goes boo 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 and just basically just denies everything. So it was a joke. It was pretty funny.
That was a good one.
I thought Minoru Suzuki versus Goto was pretty outstanding.
That was a hell of a match. It was a hard-hitting match.
Kenzo Suzuki versus a goat? Yeah.
And then, it's always a really good show, man. The Fatal 4-Way for the Junior title was great.
Oh, incredible match. The moonsault by Ospreay off the outside.
And the funny thing is, I listened to Omega on Jericho's podcast last week, and they were pissed that Ospreay did that move because Omega was going to do it, but they're such professionals and veterans that they knew how to change.
Yeah, no, they made us, but no, I did see that.
But the whole thing with Naito goes back to a few years ago. He won the G1, and people didn't like him then. Yeah. This was before he became LIJ, and New Japan put a poll out and said who should main event, Nakamura versus Tanahashi for the IC title or Okada and Naito. And everyone chose Nakamura and Tanahashi. And so Naito has always held a grudge to that. And so he finds himself this year against Okada in the main event. But now they have a big name like Chris Jericho wrestling Kenny Omega. And now it's being a dual main event.
Yep.
So Naito has a problem with it. So New Year's Dash, which is basically the Raw after WrestleMania, Chris Jericho comes out and attacks Naito, and I think it's fantastic. And to be honest, I love seeing Jericho over there because there's no strings attached. He's saying and doing what he wants. It's just amazing that at 47 years old, this guy can go on tour with a band, can put together the first ever cruise with a wrestling ring on it, and write books and do signings and be in the WWE for an appearance or come back whenever he wants to do whatever he wants and go to Japan and do whatever he wants. I mean, the guy is a god. The guy is a god.
That's why he's my favorite right now, and basically he's tied with Stone Cold, man, because I love him.
Yeah,
he's insane.
No, I can't argue it. But how did you feel about Tanahashi? Hold
on. No, keep going. Never mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how did you feel about Tanahashi going over Switchblade?
I felt it was the right thing to do.
Really?
I think bringing Jay White back and having him just beat Tanahashi, kind of just, I don't think he's ready for it. I think he still needs a little bit more time to build his character as what Switchblade is.
I agree.
Which, and also, I think they were given a very bad spot, man.
Yeah, that was a hard spot because they came right after the Jericho. Or no, they're after Fatal 4-Way, right?
Yeah, they were after.
They were after the Fatal 4-Way and before Jericho, I think, right before Jericho and Omega.
That's a real tough spot.
I mean, they were given a tough spot, and also, like the next night, Bullet Club, Jay White, he turns, beats him. Then they're saying he's joining Chaos, and
which I love, by the way.
The press conference, he said, Ishii deserves a title shot at Okada. I would want a title shot at Okada. Why are people who are in these factions not allowed to go after the people inside of the factions? So it kind of seems like, the Switchblade character seems to be like this kind of rogue. You don't know what you're going to get from him. And I think that, Gato and Jado know what they're doing with him. So his loss to Tanahashi at Wrestle Kingdom, I don't think is a big loss for him. I think just being in there with him is a big deal. especially
no
on
doubt.
stage.
Especially, to be on the big. See, a lot of people compared it to like Rusev versus Cena. That was the big comparison I kept seeing.
Here's the thing: Rusev versus Cena was awesome.
No, it was a good match.
It's about how you book Rusev after Cena.
True.
And the thing is, Gato and Jado are gonna know how to book Jay White after Tanahashi. You know what I mean? Because they run a whole different. They run a whole different way than WWE does. WWE has stuff going on 24 hours a day, every day a week, and things change on the fly constantly. New Japan, they'll do tours. They'll do tours here. They'll do tours there. They'll do a special. They'll do a special. They don't have a weekly program. They don't have. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's two totally different worlds. And, you know, WWE is flooded with talent. I mean, you could interchange a lot of people.
Oh, no doubt. Yeah, there's actually to a point where there's just like too much talent in WWE.
And also, you know, New Japan believes in long-term booking. If they see a guy, like, it goes to the dojo, it goes to the Young Lions, it goes to the excursions, it goes to coming back and having a gimmick. They invest their time in performers, whereas WWE is show me what you got. Okay, we're gonna give you this chance. We're gonna give you this chance. Oh, you fell on your face. You fell on your face. You fell on your face. Guess what? You're down here now. This guy's getting your spot. Whereas in New Japan, it's like we're not gonna let you fall on your face. If you fall on your face, this is 100% on you. It has nothing to do with us. And it's probably not going to happen because we have groomed you and held you in our hands for so long that we know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're definitely right. But to get away from New Japan, guys, it's time. It is time for the Golden Goonies, the best of 2017 in WWE. We'll do WWE.
Hold on. Thanks for letting me. I wasn't allowed to fucking talk about New Japan. Was I like just have to sit in the corner and let you finish or something?
Well, if you want to hear,
didn't you do that in the last episode?
Yeah, I was going to say that. If you want to hear Drake's opinion on New Japan's Wrestle Kingdom 12, go listen to episode 30. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry.
But give me the plug. But go listen to episode 32 of the Phenomenal Podcast. It was named New Year in Tokyo. That is where you can find me and Drake's full breakdown of Wrestle Kingdom from start to finish. It's actually a pretty good episode.
Well, I was just going to ask about Jay White. I thought the whole point of him being back in Japan, because then he started out in Japan and then go into like excursion or whatever to Ring of Honor and then come back because he's a gaijin or whatever. I thought the whole point of him being in Japan, coming back to Japan was that he was ready to overcome his adversaries and overcome the odds and all that. So why did he lose? That's what I didn't understand.
No, it's not because he's a gaijin. It's because he's a New Japan guy. He went into the dojo. He was a young boy. He did his excursion, and now he's back.
Yep. So shouldn't that be fun?
Does it make sense? I get where Drake's coming from. Like after the excursion, most guys are ready. But look at Naito. It took Naito a long time for him after his excursion to win a title.
The thing is, like,
we just watch this shit one night. I don't know.
Yeah.
The reason I think he lost, if that's what you're asking me, I think he lost because the Switchblade.
No, I'm asking if you're available sexually.
The Switchblade persona has not been completely shown yet. I think by wrestling the ace of New Japan on the biggest stage was enough to garner attention and garner interest in this Switchblade character. And he continued with it the next night whenever he said he was going to join Bullet Club, hit Kenny Omega with the Switchblade. Then he's saying all this stuff about chaos. I think that it's more of a long-term plan with him. I think eventually he will get an IC title or he will get a World Heavyweight title shot down the line.
In New Japan? Or because I only know him as Jay White in Ring of Honor.
in New Japan. He's a New Japan guy.
Yeah, he's been in the system.
Yeah, but like I never heard him referred to as Switchblade. Is he referred to Switchblade everywhere or just in Japan?
He's referred to as Switchblade now because whenever you come back from excursion, you get a gimmick.
Yeah, like
that's what I was wondering. Okay, because I didn't understand. Right?
Yeah, because if you go,
that's really cool.
In LIJ, you have Evil, right? Well, Evil went on excursion to ROH,
which was great. Watanabe,
Togi Makabe.
Yeah, he was the shit.
He was Evil.
He was so. I loved him in Ring of Honor. He was great.
And then the next year, Kamatachi went to CMLL and Ring of Honor. He came back as Time Bomb Hiromu Takahashi.
So
the whole system amazing. The whole system is you're in the dojo, you start wrestling matches, you're on the undercard, you lose most of the time, you're doing regular moves, you're in black tights, they just know your name.
Yeah, that's cool.
Then they send you to Mexico or US or UK or all of them. And then you come back with a gimmick.
Some of them. Yeah, but no, it's I love the New Japan.
Is it more rough now? Isn't it more rough on the actual Japanese people? Don't they take it easier on the white people, the Gaijins? Don't they make?
They say that happens, but the same
like more humiliating stuff.
Here's the difference. Fergal Devitt and Jay White are not typical Gaijins. They were products of New Japan. Guys who are coming in who are already known, like a Giant Bernard, a.k.a. Prince Albert, or Luke Gallows, or whatever.
Even the Young Bucks. Even like the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, they're Gaijins.
Yes, keep going.
That's all I had.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's pretty much it.
What you were making? I thought you were making a point. What about them?
They're Gaijins.
Yeah,
they're held differently.
Yeah,
Jay White is a product of New Japan.
So he's like that's like a guy. It's like saying
because that's where he got his start.
Yeah, I say like a guy say like Braun Strowman, how he came up through NXT, then he was in WWE, and now he's in. He's the main event guy.
Because I thought Gaijin just meant what they call white people. I thought that's what you told me, Tim. I mean, I'm sorry, JP.
It means like a foreigner that's not Japanese.
But it can be that's not born in Japan. Okay, gotcha.
Right.
It's too much R word for immigrants.
You're asking the difference between Jay White and like the Young Bucks or whatever. And the difference is the Young Bucks made their name a lot of places before they ended up wrestling in New Japan. Jay White probably was trained in New Zealand or Australia and went straight to the New Japan dojo.
Well, actually, I wasn't wondering that, but I'm glad you brought it up because now I know that too. That's actually pretty cool because I didn't really know that either. Like if they treat somebody different depending on their indie credentials and their resume before that.
Yeah, no.
I was wondering if they treat actual people born in Japan differently through their excursion than they treat the Gaijins. Though aren't they a lot more strict with them and make them do like more humiliating things? That's what I was asking.
No, they don't do that, but they definitely get better booking.
Wash their clothes, this and that. But they wouldn't treat Jay White and they didn't treat Jay White and Prince Devitt differently. They made them do the same thing that the Japanese guys were doing because they were New Japan grown talent.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, that's very interesting. All right, I think that's really intriguing to me.
Honestly, go on YouTube and do some research on the New Japan Dojo system. It's actually extremely interesting how they do it.
That is interesting to me because I love it because it's like they treat professional wrestling, very seriously over there. As it's like a time-honored tradition, just like sumo wrestling. Like they take it seriously, and that's fucking awesome. No,
that's why I appreciate it too.
It's nothing to fuck around with. No,
I have a lot of respect for the culture.
Yeah.
So, anyways, thanks for clearing that up with me. I'm ready for the 2017 best of now.
No, it's not the best of.
We can do both.
Get the name right. It is the Golden Goonies, ladies and gentlemen.
Golden Goonies!
I wish I had a song prepared for this. Maybe next year I'll have a song, but it is time for the Golden Goonies. We each have a vote on who we think is for each category, where we'll do the best and, like they said, the worst. And then after the Golden Goonies, we'll give our thoughts and predictions on 2018, what we think is going to happen. Because I have a few bold predictions. But let's start it off in a great way, and that is, who is the best brand of the year? And this goes with either Raw, SmackDown, and I'll even throw NXT into the mix.
Well, if that's the case, it's kind of hard to argue NXT because it's always consistently entertaining and consistently well booked, unlike Raw and SmackDown.
So we're just going WWE on this one.
If we do, because I have a feeling if we go anti, like all, it's going to be a lot of New Japan.
Correct.
So let's just keep it to WWE here, because we all know match of the year is probably either going to be Omega, Jericho, or Omega Okada. One of the three. Make your pick. And they're Okada or Omega is probably going to be Superstar of the Year. And Tag Team of the Year, if I'm doing New Japan, I'm sorry, but I'm giving it to the Young Bucks or Tag Team of the Year.
Even if you included Young Bucks, I wouldn't pick them.
Really? Who would you pick?
Yeah. Well,
just for international, not WWE.
I thought you loved.
It's a WWE team.
Okay, well then we'll save it. Let's do brand of the year. We'll do tag team next. So who is your brand of the year? Because I would actually argue Raw. Raw had a good year this year for one reason and one reason only. Braun fucking Strowman.
Yeah, Braun Strowman, amazing.
Braun Strowman comes into one of my favorite things later.
Yes,
that you may ask, but if I was Drake said NXT. Because it's always consistent.
I would agree with that.
I think that you said Raw because of Braun Strowman, and this wasn't planned. This is all on the fly. I'm gonna say SmackDown.
Okay.
The reason why is because it's like the land of opportunity, and you definitely got to see that. You definitely got to see that.
No doubt.
They brought the best out of the Usos and the New Day multiple times. I think their women's division is treated better than the Raw women's division.
Absolutely.
I enjoy watching a 2-hour episode of SmackDown more so than I would sit down and watch Raw.
I would agree with that.
There's a few reasons why. There's some things I don't like on SmackDown. But I think it's not because of SmackDown, it's because of WWE. Like, Shinsuke Nakamura hasn't been, he's been a king, but he hasn't been strong style since his first match against Sami Zayn.
I would say his match against Cena. I think he really had to he got reined in after that match. Because before that match with Cena, he was still throwing people around like crazy.
There's a couple of matches you could say here and there, but he hasn't really been himself since.
I'm sorry, I have to agree with JP because I can't. I think if he really was hard hitting and smash mouth and in your face, how he was as the king of strong style, I think I'd remember that. And nothing really stands out to me other than his match with Sammy. I'm sorry. I'm talking about Cena because Cena's match was good.
Yeah, no, I think after that match, WWE's you got to calm the fuck down.
But I think even before that, there's not really a memorable moment. Dolph Ziggler, who cares?
Well, that was just a terrible rivalry. I'm sorry.
I also the whole opportunity thing. They signed Mike Bennett, sink or swim. He sank.
Sadly.
Hold on. What do you mean he sank? I thought he was only on TV because Maria Kanellis is pregnant.
I would call that sinking. I would call that sinking hard. His wife is more important than him. I would call that sinking.
But why is he not on TV? I thought he was only on TV because his wife was pregnant.
That's why he's off TV. Actually, no. Wait, is he still dealing with his drug addiction? Was he dealing with that during the time in SmackDown? Because I know he came out with it.
5 months sober now. I don't know, but
he would have been dealing with it then. Yeah, he's probably still getting over it.
The reason why he's off TV is what I want to know.
I'm saying it might be because he had that drug problem. He had a prescription pill problem. He might be dealing with that. It might be better for him to be off TV right now. No, it was pills.
Okay,
yeah, it was pills.
It was fun because I thought he was a pretty interesting and entertaining character. I thought he just wanted to be home with his wife. I didn't know what the real reason was.
Yeah,
SmackDown had that Kevin Owens Vince McMahon moment that was awesome.
That was great.
AJ Styles, who is in the WWE universe, probably the best wrestler on their that they have given the ball to.
No doubt.
I would say that.
No doubt.
I just enjoy SmackDown. Second would be NXT. Third would be Raw.
See, I would agree with that. The reason I give Raw my pick, like I said, Braun Strowman's been great. I loved the Shield reunion was awesome. As short-lived as was with the injuries and all that.
I don't know if I'd say awesome. It was a bit lackluster. It could have been way better.
No, bullshit. I'll bring up the tape where you said it was great. I'll bring up the tapes. The week of, you were loving it. Everybody was loving it. The moment it was happening, everybody was like, "Yeah, that was a great moment."
But now looking back, it really was lackluster. Like it could have been way better. You know.
I know. It started on SmackDown, but let me continue. But The Miz has been fucking amazing on Raw. You cannot deny that.
Yes, true.
I would agree with you. The women's division has been treated better, but Alexa Bliss has had a great title run.
Yep.
And I think that there's more diversity on Raw. There's a lot more divas on Raw, it seems like. Because SmackDown, I mean, let's be honest now. Once you get past Naomi and Charlotte, who else? Like
Natalya, Carmella, Becky Lynch, the Riot Squad.
Nobody gives a shit about Riot Squad, let's be honest.
I like the Riot Squad.
I'm already over
them. I like them too.
I'm over them already. I'm sorry, but it was Absolution 2.0. Let's be totally honest. They did the same storyline 2 nights in a row.
So what? They have to have someone else on SmackDown. They can't be on both shows because of that.
Fuck that. Let's not do the same storyline on the same show on 2 different shows. You know what I mean? Let's come on with something different.
Have some fucking do.
Be a babyface team.
There was a bit of difference in the storyline. Paige was saying that she was the one who started the Divas Revolution and this and that and blah, 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 and that's why they were called Absolution.
I get that. I understand that.
I just think that, it's good. It's all good.
Yeah.
It's good.
But I think Raw's disadvantage is that third hour, and here's my point with NXT. NXT is always going to get the win because they don't have to book a pay-per-view every month.
Right.
That's a big play.
That's why I didn't choose it. Like it's so consistent because of the structuring.
Exactly. They have the
Well, would that also be the best reason to choose it because it's always good?
Yeah, but I think that's a good. Yeah. You have to put that as a handicap, though. You know what I mean? That's like
you gave it as an option, though. So
no,
I chose
I did. No, I'm not. nobody's downing your pick. I would agree with you. I'm saying I'm not choosing it on that basis because Raw and SmackDown has that disadvantage where they have to book on a short-term basis monthly, where NXT they can burn out a feud.
I'm going to be honest with you. I feel like there's things. I think there's pros and cons with all 3 shows. You know what I mean? So that's why it's hard to choose. But if I had to choose, I think I would have to choose NXT just based off consistent booking alone. Now, I did say I will say this because I told JP earlier that sometimes I'm not always the biggest fan. My one con about NXT is I don't always watch it as it airs weekly. I kind of binge watch it, and I think that also because it's on the network. I can binge watch it like Netflix or something, And plus, it's only an hour long. So I could fucking catch up. I could catch up 5 weeks worth in one day if I really wanted to. If you think about it, 3 episodes worth, that's 3 weeks worth. That's 1 episode of Raw, 3 hours. I could fucking binge watch it in a day if I wanted to.
No doubt.
But I think so. I don't always think it's the greatest product because some of the legitimate rookies that are on there, I'm not huge on. But you know what? Those guys I end up loving because I remember a few years ago when I first saw the Revival, I'm like, these guys suck. There's no way they should be able to beat Enzo and Cass and all these other guys. I'm like, they look like fucking idiots. And then they end up becoming one of my favorite tag teams, So I think because of the consistently good booking and the takeover shows are always 100% stellar. I mean, literally going back to the first takeover show, and I'm talking about Arrival in 2014, Bo Dallas versus I think Neville in the ladder match. There hasn't been one bad show.
On my birthday, I just want to throw that out there. The first takeover was on my birthday.
Was that February or March?
February 27th.
I thought it was your birthday. Okay, I have to remember.
No,
if you were
I'm
born
not.
on the 29th, that would have been weird.
My cousin was almost born on the 29th. He's born on the 28th. We're 14 hours apart. He was almost born on the 29th.
Well, I mean, every single takeover always rocks my cock and impresses me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they do it. Well, maybe it's because they have so much time to develop and plan. But like, I haven't seen one bad takeover, or at least one takeover where I haven't had an exciting moment where I stood to my feet. So, like that's why I think it's been the best. Now, like I said, but here's the thing with Raw and SmackDown, I watch every week and I tune in every week, and for the most part, I'm entertained. But like I said, their pay-per-views aren't always the best. That also has a number of factors because of like they have 2 weeks to plan. You know what I mean? And also, it's like since it's the main event roster, I think the writers and the people who plan the main roster pay-per-views and the main roster shows are different from who plan
no doubt
manages NXT, right?
Yes.
I mean, right?
Yeah, you're right.
So,
NXT is the better show overall, but like if we're talking promotion, I say SmackDown because it's a weekly 2-hour show that's live and not pre-taped and stuff like that. And I'm just giving a different viewpoint. I mean, I do agree with you, Drake. Like,
I actually agree with you too, Tim. Whatever, it doesn't fucking matter.
Show, I lose my mind. You know, not every SmackDown or Raw pay-per-view I'm losing my mind.
No, there's a lot usually there's at least 1 or 2 matches where like, what the fuck are you watching right now?
Going back to JP's point, I think that SmackDown, though, and Raw can have better shows than the NXT shows. I don't think that every NXT show that I see is amazing. Sometimes I think it's kind of lackluster, I'm not going to lie. But I think I'm only choosing it because their build up to the takeovers and the takeovers themselves are so amazing that it kind of just makes your patience worth it. Like sometimes you have to be patient with NXT. Like they have like a takeover like once every 2 months, and I don't think their shows are always that amazing. Like the weekly shows.
It's that long-term booking style that I was talking about in New Japan. Like they take their time, they groom the talent, they make them mean something.
Exactly.
The payoff. Well, I think that the payoff is what makes it great. So I think because of the payoff that are the takeover shows, that's what makes it great. But if I had to choose, like on a week, like honestly, I think talking about a weekly consistent show, I actually think I'd probably go with SmackDown too because I usually enjoy the main roster shows more than NXT on a weekly basis. But the takeover shows are why I chose NXT.
No, I agree with that. But let's get away from that because we were talking about them earlier. Tag Team of the Year. And I feel like I know who JP was going to pick. I think I'm
Great old Rockstar Spud.
Yes, because I think we're picking the same team. Were you going to say the Usos?
Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary, baby.
They had the best year in any company. You're right. As much as I love the Young Bucks, you're right. The Usos have had a fucking amazing year.
Do you know why? Do you know why? They took off the fucking face paint. They stopped placating to the crowd. They stopped being the tag team John Cena, and they started being themselves.
Exactly.
That's Roman Reigns are done, Puffs Butter.
Like they fucking like you can. Me and Drake talked about it on the podcast. You can go back and listen to it. The matches with the New Day. I had no interest in them at first. Drake knows this.
I thought you were nuts because I was like, "They're amazing, Tone."
Their SummerSlam pre-show match is getting dubbed one of the best of the year in WWE.
No, I agree. No, I'm saying at the beginning. Once that match happened, I was like, "Holy shit!"
The last time I was on this show, I talked about how we talked about the Usos and the Young Bucks as well.
Yes,
and comparing and contrasting them.
Yeah, no, they quickly.
Can you guys imagine a dream match between those two teams? Holy shit, that'd be awesome.
It'd be amazing. But remember the match on SmackDown they had with the Fashion Police? It was a short match, but it was so fucking good.
Wait, when was that? Was that recent?
That was like end of the year. That was when the Fashion Police were at they were still on the rise. They weren't even at their peak yet.
Why did they fuck over the Fashion Police? They were entertaining.
They brought back Fashion Files on the YouTube page.
It's on WWE.com.
Still, it's back though. At least they still have it. You know what I
They
mean?
have a storyline.
They have to be on SmackDown to me.
They have a storyline going with the Bludgeon Brothers, them and the Ascension.
Yeah, no, they're getting booked. They're still there. They could be not be
I
getting
don't want to
talked
go out
about.
of my way to watch. You know how we're talking about? I don't go out of my way to watch 205 Live. I'm not going to go out of my way to watch WWE.com, so it's over for me.
So
If it's not on TV, I don't care.
Drake, who's your tag team of the year, bud?
Are they going to sweep?
Am I going to sweep?
Or the Usos going to sweep?
They might, because you remember what I told you when I was fucking walking by you on Lane G to one day.
Yep.
I fucking said the Usos are the best tag team in the world right now. So, Jesus Christ, I think I am going to have to go with them. Because like looking back, I mean, well, shit. Who do we have? We had what notable tag teams have we had in 2017? We had Ambrose and Rollins coming back together, right?
That wouldn't put them up there though. The New Day, New Day has to be in conversation always, just because they're New Day.
Day's always fucking awesome. I, for one, don't think they have to be broken up, even though it'd be interesting if they were. But they're also so good together.
Yeah, at this point, keep them together. They can retire together.
So good together, like it doesn't even fucking matter. Like they're so good. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I really was not about Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin being a team, but recently, over the past several weeks, especially after the hashtag free the titles, I'm loving them now together.
Yeah, no, now that's more of a recent thing. I don't know if we could. They're just too new together.
Yeah, said recent. Name some other notable tag teams in 2017 from me. We just doing WWE, right?
Yeah, the club's booking was kind of shaky this year.
Yeah,
the Revival got screwed early with the injury.
We are the Bar.
Nice, come on, thank you. Why do you think you guys
the Bar might have to. Are you going to choose the Bar? I know how much you love the Bar.
The Bar is like at the very, very least second place to the Usos if we are going with the sweep on the Usos.
Are you not gonna? You don't have to sweep if you want to pick the Bar. You can, because I know how much you love.
I don't know, man, because this is like trying to choose between my favorite kid.
I mean, because here's my thing. Because I know how much you talk up the Bar more than I do. I know they're your team. I know they're your team, bro.
How do you fucking what? You don't agree that are you denying their greatness or something?
No, I'm saying they're just your team. I hear you every week talking about how much you love them. I know they're your team. You're gonna pick against them.
Most of this Cesaro and Sheamus has come such a long way.
Sheamus has been great in the tag team. Honestly, I
used to hate Sheamus. I thought Sheamus was a fucking lame, pale ginger douche fuck. And I remember the first time I actually became kind of a fan of Sheamus was his 2 out of 3 falls match against Daniel Bryan at Extreme Rules 2012. Yeah. JP and I were boxing Chapel. He remembers. That was started to see the Sheamus. I'm like, holy shit, this ginger fucking pale prick can wrestle. So, but then he just like kind of became uninteresting again. I really truly believe since he teamed up with Cesaro, he became like, I don't know. I think he found his calling. Like I would say both of them. I mean, but also I also think Cesaro can be really good as a singles competitor. But they have undeniable chemistry at this point. At this point, you can't deny their chemistry and how good they are together. And they had a hell of a great year. And also, I think it's worth acknowledging that they were the team to dethrone the New Day's tag team title reign at the end of 2016, which was also the longest of all time, beating Demolition.
You are right.
So, I don't know, man. Oh, God. The Bar or Usos. It's got to be one of the two, man. I don't fucking
No doubt.
know.
Yeah, they're 1 and 2 for sure.
Well...
You got to pick. Gun to your head right now. Got to make a choice.
All right. I think... Just to be a fuck, I'm gonna go with the Bar.
All right, he is the Bar.
I think just because I want to be different, but like also it's not so easy. Seeing that we have 2 shows now and like the draft's back, it's kind of like not so easy to just say like back when there was just one tag team champions in WWE. It would have been a lot easier to say, well, obviously this was the best team, but it's like Usos were the best on SmackDown, absolutely. The Bar was the best on Raw, absolutely. But like trying to fucking gauge and compare who was the best in WWE, that's kind of rough. But just to be that guy, I'm going to go with the Bar.
I'm just going to give a quick shout out to a team that's broken up. Gargano and Ciampa, honorable mention. Even though they're broken up at this point, honorable mention to them. Dude, even Authors of Pain, honestly. I think if there was a top 5, those two teams crack it.
Authors of Pain are fucking awesome. I don't care what anybody says, dude. The Authors of Pain kick ass.
Now, we're going to move on here to Feud of the Year. There's been a couple of good ones. A couple of really good ones. What is your Feud of the Year?
Well, what would you say are a few good feuds of the year?
I would say, if we're talking about match quality, John Cena versus AJ Styles. That's up there.
I got the perfect one. I think Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon. Honestly, that
was a great feud. That was a very good feud.
I'm honestly all year. I don't think I've been more entertained by storyline than that one. So I think that's my pick.
I would even throw out an argument for Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar.
Why?
Because that was a very entertaining feud to see Goldberg come back and conquer like he did, and then for Brock Lesnar to get it back at the end. It was a good feud. It was.
No, I'm not. I'm sorry. I should make myself clear. I'm not disagreeing with you, but I feel like that was more entertaining in 2016, leading up to Survivor Series. However, I think after Survivor Series, I didn't care as much.
No, well, I included because Mania. From Royal Rumble to Mania, because that was part of it. So it's included.
The build-up to Survivor Series was awesome, but after that, I just...
Are we going to do best moment and best match and best promo?
I think we should. I think we should.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay,
oh, yeah.
Okay, then...
We've got a ton of categories.
My favorite feud of this year, and it might be weird to some people, Roman Reigns versus Samoa Joe.
I'm not against that. Honestly, I'm not against that.
That's cool, dude.
I think Samoa Joe brings great stuff out of Roman Reigns. I like to see them in the ring all the time. I love that Joe has actually beaten him before. It's I think it's really interesting, and I also agree with Drake that. But at the same time, all year is Kevin Owens. It's not just Shane McMahon. It was also Jericho. It's everything Kevin Owens. Everything Kevin Owens feuds with is amazing. This whole idea of him and AJ Styles, that was like 3 weeks, and I honestly thought it sucked.
All right.
But like... His feud with Shane, his feud with Jericho.
I don't know. It was kind of entertaining when he called himself the new face of America. That was pretty hilarious, you have to admit.
No, it was a good gimmick.
That's great. I'm just talking about like their chemistry together. I don't think they had great chemistry together.
And he even acknowledges that. He said on that 365 documentary that he thought his matches with AJ could have been better, if you remember, you know?
Yeah, and I just yeah, my feud of the year would go to Roman Reigns and Samoa Joe.
All right, I can appreciate that. Drake, what are you going
with? Kevin and Shane, just because it's been, and I mean, really, I can even say Sammy and Daniel Bryan if you want to get them all involved, because it's been so consistent. It's been like the focal point of SmackDown dating back to since like October, September. So it's pretty important to me.
No doubt.
So I actually agree and appreciate and like JP's opinion, but like, hasn't Joe and Reigns feud been kind of on and off though? It's been kind of hot and cold. It's not like it's been like consistent and heated all year. So I was just like, I was kind of surprised by that.
But every time they have a match, they bring up their history together. They have a good promo together, and they have a good match.
Yeah.
It's not like a feud where it like went over 3 months and headline pay-per-views. But
yeah, see, that's what I do traditionally is what a feud is. That's why I was a bit thrown off by it.
Well, I think it's cool that it has been interweaved throughout the year, and neither competitor has forgotten. You know, so true. That's really cool.
And I think
I agree with that.
I agree with you. And with that being said, I guess technically it does constitute as a feud, which I was actually unaware of, because in my traditional definition of a feud, I always thought that it was something that lasted several months at a time and led to culminations of epic battles of pay-per-views where the title may or may not be involved. I just thought that, like, with a hot and cold on and off situation, it wasn't technically, definition-wise considered a feud. But with that being said, I actually think that you're actually correct. And if you want to consider that a feud, I agree with you. And to think that every time that they do counteract each other, do interact with one another, it's very epic. So.
Yeah.
Well,
what about you, Dylan?
What about me? We kind of already discussed it because I'm going back to the tag team division. I got to go with the Usos versus the New Day.
Nice.
I have to.
That's so funny and ironic because originally you weren't interested and you thought it was shit.
I know, and they totally turned. That's why I have to pick it, because at the start of it, I was so against it, and then the SummerSlam match happened. It was amazing. Continuous matches on SmackDown and pay-per-views, culminating in a
they made
that's kind of how I feel about the Shield. That's Tony. You were saying that, like, I thought the Shield reunion was initially awesome. Well, looking back at it, I feel like in hindsight, it was kind of lackluster. So yeah, we can all change our mind.
Yeah, no, it's all about opinions. That's why I did that, because I knew I was going to pick this match next. I had to play it off because this feud. I'm sorry, but this feud put tag team wrestling back on the map in WWE.
Yes, it did. And going back to JP's point, and I thought it was crazy as it was happening. The fact that because I watched I caught the tail end of it. The fact that the SummerSlam pre-show match between the New Day and the Usos for the Tag Team Championships was not even considered, it was a match of the year contender. That is saying something. That's insane. But when I was watching it, I caught the tail end of it. I'm like, how the fuck is this the pre-show? And this is so awesome. And actually, on the WWE Network, they actually have, like, the whole list, like, broken down for you. And, like, it's on there. The match is on there. It's like pre-show. It's like, when the fuck in history would you ever fucking think you would fucking have a conversation when someone said, you remember that epic pre-show match?
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
So, well, this broke that fucking stereotype, you know?
No, it did. It definitely did.
Actually, when come to think of it, and I coincidentally enough, I said coincidentally on purpose, not ironically, because it is coincidentally, at least I think it is. The Usos actually had another pretty damn good pre-show match, but this was years ago. JP or Tony, does anybody remember when Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns were the tag team champions? You guys remember that?
Yeah.
Do you remember the pre-show match against the Usos in 2013 at Money in the Bank? That was a really good pre-show match.
Yeah. No, they're a great tag team. Don't get me wrong.
Well, my point is, there's not many times I could use anybody thinks back to the pre-show and think, "Oh, that was a really good match." Well, that was an
bullshit. WeLC at TLC 2014 was the greatest pre-show match.
No, about the El Torito thing in 3MB.
Well, if you're going to talk about a pre-show match, you got to bring it up. Damn it! You know it's my baby.
Like that. And actually, you can even say Neville and Austin Aries.
True that.
Amazing.
I just did.
He did. You just did.
Oh. Well, I was just going to fucking say that too.
Well, let's get away from Feud of the Year, because I want to talk about something different. And that's Breakout Star of the Year. There's a lot of guys that can fit this category. This could be any brand, because I'm going to give you my pick right now. And Drake, I want you to say my name. Because I'm picking
Tony,
the Velveteen Dream.
Breakout Star is the exact opposite.
You're not going to take the Velveteen Dream? Or are you going to pick? I think I know you're going to pick that.
Are we picking Star of the Year or Breakout Star of the Year?
Breakout Star.
Breakout.
Okay, you mean like somebody who's most prone to acne? Okay, I'm kidding, yeah. I'm funny.
I'm eating food, so that's why I wasn't laughing.
Oh, fucking suck it. There was a dick in your mouth. Okay, so you're choosing Velveteen Dream. What's JP choose?
Now, who's your pick, JP?
Alistair
Or who?
Yeah, I agree with that. Because their match was great. That was a great match they had. It wasn't like they did a lot of great athletic stuff, but the storytelling in the match. That's what made it so good.
But, I mean, we're looking at this as like as in like a lower level, right?
Well, you could do it for anybody. It could be somebody on Raw or SmackDown too. I just NXT seems like the best place. But Drake obviously wants to say something.
Psst. My breakout star of the year is Who Wants to Walk with Elias?
I was wondering if he was going to say that. I can appreciate that. He had a pretty good at the start of it. It was ugly at the start, but yeah, no, I can appreciate that one.
I'm taking away my choice, actually.
Oh, you're taking it away? I wrote it really big too.
Only because are we doing moment of the year in
No,
promo?
No, this is just breakout. This is breakout star.
The breakout star is Braun Strowman.
True. I can. Yeah.
But my moment of the year was going to be Braun Strowman's rise to stardom. So
all right, we'll just transfer to that.
I was thinking about choosing Braun Strowman, but man, I'm just so impressed with Elias because obviously, like, I kind of know him through Ben, and I just never even thought he would make it in WWE, let alone NXT, or you know what I mean. So it's just crazy, and I'm so proud of him, and it's just awesome,
Yeah,
I think with breakout star, we should probably just choose like NXT or like low mid card guys, or somebody we could see as a major star.
No, if you want to choose Braun, you can.
A lot to choose Elias.
No, go ahead. If you can, we'll do Braun with an approximation. Also, Alistair if Braun isn't available.
Yeah, I think.
Wait, JP, were you saying that we should only choose NXT guys, or what did you just say?
No, I say anybody because I love the Elias pick. I think Elias is a great pick.
What did JP just say?
He said he's going to pick Braun. If he picks anybody, and he's got a good point. But it's up to him.
I thought he was saying we should only pick NXT people. I don't know what I heard.
No, breakout stars anybody.
I'd say the breakout star is Braun Strowman.
All right.
Okay. I don't know what the fuck I heard. I thought you were contradicting yourself. I think I heard something differently. Never mind.
A very close second would be Aleister Black.
I can appreciate both those picks, but you said moment of the year would be Braun Strowman's rise. I can appreciate that.
Hold on. I actually, JP, I wanted to argue with you when we did moment of the year on the line. I only thought moment of the year meant like something that actually like. I didn't think moment. To me, when I think moment, you think of like a short burst of like an instance in time. Like when you said moment, I didn't think it could mean like a series of events dragged out throughout a year. Because you said like moment of the year, and you said AJ Styles' entire career, year in 2017. That's not a moment.
I kind of meant like story of the year or something.
Oh, Maury and I didn't know that, so it's like I can't like. I just thought it's kind of hard for me to say like, yeah, that's a moment. Like a moment is like a segment or an instance or something that happened.
Right.
That's like when Sammy pulled Kevin Owens off of the table when Shane jumped through at Hell in a Cell. That was a moment. Not like you can't. I can't. It's hard. It's a slump. Like their whole career in 2017. That's a moment. Like not.
I guess I mean stories.
Yeah. Well, let's be technical here. I just want to be like, if we're gonna say a moment, let's talk about actual moments, like segments, not like a series of events throughout the course of months upon a time. I just don't think that really constitutes as a moment.
I have to agree with Drake on this one because I'll give you my moment of the year, and I think once I say it, you're probably all going to agree with me. The moment of the year is obviously the Festival of Friendship.
Yes,
no doubt in my mind, man. Festival of Friendship was fucking good.
You know, when JP actually listed that, I actually like kind of fucking kicked myself because like I totally forgot about it, which is bad because I'm like, oh, how did I forget the Festival of Friendship? Like I would have listed had I remembered it. Like it was awesome, that was one of the best moments of the year. Absolutely,
no doubt, it was the best moment.
I do agree with you, but to throw something else out there, the Hardys returning.
Fuck yes.
Pretty fucking awesome. Kurt Angle returning is pretty fucking awesome.
That was a good one.
Sammy turning heel, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the moment.
Definitely not Jinder winning the title.
maybe Jinder losing the title.
Yeah, I'm fine. Jinder should have. I'll fucking say it till I'm blue in the face. Jinder should have never been WWE champion. He should have been U.S. champion. That's all I'm gonna say.
Kevin Owens headbutts Vince McMahon and makes him bleed.
Yes, and yes.
Great moment. But Drake, you haven't given us an official moment.
Yeah, I said Sammy pulling
Okay.
Kevin off. That was my moment because you guys thought of everything else already that I was gonna say. So, because you got well, actually, if we're gonna talk about Braun Strowman, how about? I mean,
Him flipping the ambulance was pretty awesome.
What's that?
Him flipping the ambulance was pretty fucking cool.
Yes, him flipping the ambulance was awesome. Just, dude, even last week, I know it wasn't 2017, but him fucking losing his shit on Raw was awesome. Any moment that Braun Strowman was awesome.
Is great.
Yep.
And everything that he says is great. Like,
I'm not done until I get these hands on everyone. I love that.
No, it was great. It was 100% great.
The rise of Braun Strowman, I think, is the story of the year. Aside from,
yes, not moment.
I would say AJ Styles. His entire year has been amazing.
No doubt.
So
Absolutely.
I'd probably say him as the superstar of the year.
Well, you know why? You want to do male superstar of the year already? You want to do it? We'll do it. So you're saying AJ Styles?
I agree with him adamantly because I think Strowman is my favorite person on Raw, pretty much, and Styles is my favorite person on SmackDown. So for story of the year, not moment, I agree with those completely.
Now, so are you going to go
to superstar, right?
Yeah, are you going to do AJ?
I'm going with AJ. Fuck it. Yeah, I'm going with AJ.
Well, I'm going to go in a totally different direction, you guys. As great as AJ was, as great as Braun Strowman was, I said his name earlier too. Go with the Miz.
Fuck yeah, nice. I like that one. I like that one a lot, man. Miz is the fucking shit, dude. Miz is the shit.
Like his year, he's made the Intercontinental Championship,
and he made
very
Raw
relevant.
For a lot of it.
Yeah, so I gotta go with the Miz, and I heard there's a rumor he's gonna.
Half of 2017, talking smack and just SmackDown. Like the guy's awesome, you know.
And I heard there's rumors that he's gonna big push for Mania. I didn't read into the rumor.
That too. But who do you think his opponent's gonna be?
That's what I'm wondering because there's a lot of people he could do it against.
Yeah.
that would be great. That would be great. It's possible. It's possible. If anybody could do it, it's Jericho.
Dude, that would fuck.
IC title. Who's gonna,
Dude, that's perfect looking. Mr. JP, I hope you were correct because that would rock my cock.
Now,
we all want your cock to be rocked.
We all want all of our cocks to be rocked.
You've been talking about rocking your cock for over an hour, and I just hope and pray and wish that your cock is rocked at least within the next 24 hours, sir.
Damn.
I don't think it's going to be. Not until I see these epic moments.
See, that's damn. He was really kind there.
Unless Stone Cold comes back with a white zombie reunion, then that's not going to happen.
You're asking for a lot of shit right there.
Yeah.
Well, his cock doesn't get rocked too easily.
Yeah, apparently.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. That it's just It's just to signify how important and amazing a moment is, and if it's lackluster, it's going to get maybe a half chub at the most.
Well. Speaking of somebody else,
girls don't like them. We don't like them. You know what I mean?
Well. Speaking of cock rockers, who's your female superstar of the year?
The Rock and Roll Express. Oh wait, female. Okay.
There's a lot of good choices in this one. I want to hear who you guys' picks are.
Mae Young's Ghost.
The Mae Young Classic was pretty fire this year.
I said Ghost.
But it's only within the realm of WWE, of course, correct?
Or NXT.
Okay.
Or even Mae Young Classic. I'll let any of the women who participated in the Mae Young Classic or any of them. Because there's a lot of good picks there.
Even their outside performances from the Mae Young Classic?
Yes. As long as they performed in WWE, they're available. Because there's a couple of them. Tess Blanchard, I put her on the list. She had a pretty good year in the independents also.
I would say...
Who?
Tessa
Blanchard.
If we're going straight WWE, I'm gonna go with Asuka.
I can appreciate that pick.
Hard to argue, undefeated.
But if I'm going with someone who was in the Mae Young Classic and their whole year, I'm going Toni Storm.
I can appreciate that one.
Toni Storm, first Progress female champion. She's like a dual champion in Stardom. She did a great outing in Mae Young Classic. I think she has a very bright future. I'm very happy for her.
She's very young. She's 22, right? She's very young.
So she's only 20, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, she dated Tyler Bate.
Lucky guy.
Until he started
Tyler Bate and Pete Dunne are fucking incredible.
There was conversation about him trolling for transvestite. I don't know. You have to
wait, what?
Yeah, Tyler Bate was into some weird shit, or he was set up as it. I don't know. But anyway,
Tyler Bate's a transvestite.
In WWE, I would say Asuka because she put on great match after great match after great match with multiple different women. She really helped elevate Ember Moon and Nikki Cross, and
no doubt
anyone she got in the ring with, but really those two. She also
that last woman standing match with Nikki Cross was fucking incredible.
Yeah, and her whole feud with Ember Moon was great, and the fact that she went undefeated, the fact that you could see that there was so much respect between her and Ember whenever she left and whenever Ember actually won the title, that stuff stands out to me.
She was there when she did hand her the title when she won. I thought that was a very cool moment.
On that note, I choose Ember Moon as my female of the year.
I can appreciate that pick also.
She had a great fucking year. She only lost to Asuka as far as I know, and now she's the NXT Women's Champion, and it's the tits.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy she is too, because she is such a great performer, man.
She definitely deserves it too.
Man, she's awesome. Now I don't see all that star and shimmer and shine and fucking glow, and I don't watch all that shit, but it doesn't matter. I see what's important, and she's the best.
Well, if you want to hear who my female superstar of the year is, I have to go with somebody that who'd you say?
He said no, and I started laughing. I'm sorry.
All right, well, fuck it then.
No.
That's the podcast. This has been the phenomenal podcast. I'm joking. All right, no, but if I'm going to pick somebody, it's going to be another person that Drake knows. I downed on at the start, and that would be. Remember, it was somebody that I talked a lot of shit on first, and that would be Naomi. I gotta pick her,
man.
She had a great year. Somebody I downed at first, and she totally turned me around. She's definitely one of the top women on SmackDown. She had a great run.
Fuck yeah, dude.
You know what's great about Naomi?
Everything, her ass especially.
She was in that NXT all-girl thing with AJ and Caitlyn. AJ's gone, Caitlyn's gone, Naomi's
Oh, that's crap. Oh, yeah.
She was the Brodus Clay dancer. She got married to an Uso. Then they finally gave her a shot, and she got the ball and ran with it.
She's killing it. Killing it.
She's awesome.
She's one of the better technical wrestlers on SmackDown.
Bullshit. And she really showed what she really fucking had all along. It's not like she just magically or suddenly got good. She always was that good. She doesn't have the platform to show it until recently. No,
I totally agree. Now,
it was a different landscape even just a few years ago. JP was talking about watching the recent Raws from 2011 with CM Punk on them, and I was going back and watching them too because they were entertaining. But other than those segments, most of the show was kind of dog shit. It's like R-Truth versus Michael Cole's left nipple and shit like that, and we're gonna have the divas are gonna come out and finger each other, which is kind of cool, but they were still degrading them. It's the divas in 2011. It's
I just want to call a timeout real quick. How funny was it to see Kelly on Raw, and they're like, yeah, she got her start in the revamped ECW. I was so ready for Michael Cole to say, yeah, she was a stripper.
She was an exhibitionist.
Hilarious. And by the way, did anyone else find it fucking crazy? Her and all the other females that came out look pretty much the same. It's amazing.
How much you want to bet half of those women are in the Rumble this weekend?
Probably, but can we not appreciate how good they? Can we not appreciate how good they look in 2018? They look amazing.
Tori fucking Wilson, ladies and gentlemen. Terry Runnels looked good.
I wanted her to turn around just so I could see that.
She looked good.
Personally told me that he wants Terry Runnels to lick his butthole, and I second that notion.
I'm not against it.
So many children died whenever I hit puberty because of Terry Runnels.
I believe it. I definitely believe it. No, but Tori Wilson was my girl.
Drake, I said so many children died when I hit puberty because of Terry Runnels.
That's fucking hilarious.
That's fucked up. That is fucked up. But no,
that's fucking hysterical.
No, but this is really good time.
That story of a girl. Okay.
I totally lost my train of thought after that comment. I'm not gonna lie. But I remember now. But all the women look good. Trish, of course, looks fucking fantastic.
Trish looks better. Older.
She got hotter.
Like, she does not look like she had 2 kids. One recently.
I remember whenever they had that
got hotter. She is a fine wine. She aged like a fine wine.
Yeah.
She was brunette on that fucking Tough Enough, and she's doing all that yoga. She looks amazing. It's insane. Yeah. I actually think she's
way better than she did in the early 2000s. It's something else.
Same with Lita. Sorry.
But she wasn't there, though, sadly.
I don't know. Lita looks about
Victoria. I also think Victoria got hotter as she aged.
I agree. Now, as much as a hypocrite as I might sound, Lita is still my
WWE. She just looked like a buff fitness model, and then whenever she was in TNA, she looked like
it's kind of ironic. I think Lita is still probably my favorite female of all time. But I feel like I don't know. I feel like I think she was like one of the few rare ones that looked better when she was younger. She still looks good now. You can just tell she's kind of older. But like for some reason with everybody else, they look like the same. I don't get it. I don't know. Probably has to do with yoga and fucking fitness and eating healthy and eating pussy. I don't fucking know. Dye your hair.
They have the money and the means to keep themselves looking that way.
Botox! No. Actually, you know who Botox totally fucked up? Angelina Love. She looks terrible last time I saw her.
Oh, she didn't look good to begin with.
Has always looked terrible to me.
Yeah, I was totally agree. She never looked good to me.
Like a dude.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that's actually a very good point. Never mind.
No, if I'm gonna give it,
they had the beautiful people thing, it was like, okay, this is a transvestite and a whore. Great.
Yeah, no, like if I was gonna say the other one looked better looking, the one that married Bully Ray, what was her name?
Velvet Sky.
Yeah, she looked a lot better.
What a porn name, huh?
Well, for sure. Madison Rain, come on, that's literally a porn name. There's a porn star named Madison Rain also.
That is the one thing about TNA names. They sounded like porn names. Angelina Love, a porn name.
The company sounded like porn. What are you talking? TNA. Come on.
Awesome dog.
Awesome oh my god! How do I not even? Well, I have to think. I have thought about that. But
on Pornhub, you're gonna get so much good porn.
Wait, are you serious?
No.
Oh, well.
I was making a contrast, like a disagreement.
Is it bad that I could see her doing porn though?
She's on Glow, man.
That's why I could see her doing it. How did you think she got the job for Glow? Got to go on that casting couch.
You ruined it, JP.
Hold on. No, I told you how I feel about Me Too. Don't make me bring up Enzo again.
Tony,
fuck that bitch.
We went all the way back to the beginning of the conversation. #Me Too.
Fuck Me Too. #fuck Me Too. I literally tweeted that.
I don't even know about this fucking shit. I never even heard of #Me Too until tonight. I don't pay attention to all that bullshit.
No, but it was funny though. I literally at one point tweeted #fuck Me Too, and it took me like 20 minutes to realize, wait a minute, what did I just tweet?
Hold on, I have to agree with you. Fucking TNA. Tits, what is it? Tits and ass, right? Fucking, all those names sound like fucking porn names. Fucking TNA. It sounds like porn. It's hilarious.
No doubt. But we
Awesome
Kong, yeah, it doesn't sound like porn. It sounds like she'd kick your ass.
Unless her name was Awesome Dong and she came out with a
Awesome Dong. Oh, we just got a new title, ladies and gentlemen.
Awesome Dong.
Talking with Jesus. Awesome Dong.
Awesome Dong. No, my God, you gotta wait. You gotta come 2 hours into the show to get that one. But that's a gold nugget right there. Oh my God!
Stop. The Drake's gonna piss.
All right. Well, before you go to piss, who was your most disappointing superstar of the year?
Who? What?
Most disappointing.
You?
Dick.
Great Kingsley for not fucking stepping into a ring. Anyways, that was supposed to make JP laugh.
Well, all right. Go to the bathroom and think of somebody. We'll discuss it. Because I already have this appointment. It's Bailey.
Of course.
Yeah, I was thinking Bailey, and that sucks because I love Bailey. I'm upset that I have to fucking even put her in the conversation. It's her booking.
Yeah, no, she had a terrible year booking wise, and she's just an awkward character. I'm sorry.
I love her.
But her promos are always awkward as fuck. Sorry.
I totally agree with you. I think that
I don't want to agree, but I agree.
They missed the what they could have done with her and Sasha. They won't make Sasha heel, and I don't understand it.
Why won't they? Because it's not like they give her a title.
Easily save Bailey by making Sasha heel.
True.
I don't understand.
Also, JP, they could also fucking help Sasha because for some fucking reason, every time they give her the title, she never has successfully defended it. So in the process, they're fucking her over. But by simply turning Sasha heel, they'd be helping both of their careers fucking fantastically. And it's like to the point I almost think they're not doing it because they want to screw them over. I can't think of any other reason.
Charlotte show, man. They don't want the four horsewomen on fucking WWE main programming until Ronda Rousey gets there. It's the Charlotte show. No matter what show she's on, she's
that.
But why wouldn't they try to make somebody? But she's on SmackDown though. What about Raw? Why can't they fucking help those women out?
Matter. It's all about Charlotte.
Yeah.
Wait, so Charlotte's only important because she's Ric Flair's daughter?
And she's probably the best woman wrestler. Honestly, she's probably.
Oh, she is without a doubt. Why does it all have to be about her?
She's very green.
I'd argue that.
Whoa!
I'd argue that. I'd argue that one.
Charlotte Flair has come a long way,
but to call her green,
she is not the best female wrestler on that roster.
But to call her green though,
wrestler, including
yeah, I might have to fucking drive over and punch you right in the nuts.
Yeah,
right now.
I don't know if I'd call her green though. I get where you're coming from, but green?
No, I didn't. Maybe I didn't mean green.
Yeah, I was gonna say because she's coming very long.
Hold on. Everybody, shut the fuck up. This is the same person. This is the same person who gave me shit for calling gender green. Just saying.
I wasn't trying to say she's green. My bad. I take back my words.
I'm changing my most disappointed to JP with
this when I call gender green. You fuck.
Let's not argue, children. But who are your guys' most disappointed?
I'm just saying, don't be a fucking hypocrite.
What's that like? Drake, go take your pee. Calm down. You're angry. Go pee.
Because it's bullshit. Charlotte's fucking awesome, and he gets pissed. I call gender green, who is fucking green.
Gender's fucking awesome. So how about that?
Well, Charlotte's not fucking green. Take it back.
I agree, but she's not the best female wrestler on the roster.
I agree with that too, but she is fucking amazing. I don't, Gender's not fucking awesome. Gender is far from awesome. Gender's a faggot.
Anyway, my biggest disappointment is a faction called Titus Worldwide.
Oh, yeah.
I think Apollo Crews is the worst NXT call-up ever. I think what they're doing with Dana Brooke isn't working. It's dumb. I think she's garbage. I think she needs to be fired.
Where the fuck is Tozawa?
Why isn't he there? The only thing that was cool and entertaining about Titus Worldwide,
and he's just gone.
Akira Tozawa.
Yeah, he's gone now.
Where did he go? That's a good question. Where did he go?
I don't know. I have no idea.
House shows. Who the fuck knows? But I mean, like, I agree about Bailey. But to choose something else, I would say that whole group is a fucking disappointment. Apollo Crews when he came up to the main roster and he was just a smiling guy who could do all this stuff, reminded me of Rocky Maivia whenever he first started. So I thought, oh, great, they're eventually going to turn him heel. They never turned him heel. They just put him with this other guy, and nothing made sense. And he looks stupid next to Titus because Titus, there's no contrast there. He's just bigger than him. So why should I care about this little guy?
Is it bad that
now they have Dana Brooke trying to be Stacy Keibler from 1998? Like,
and she ain't even close to looking as good. She ain't even close.
It's just dumb. And like we were talking about Raw 25 and the APA segments, did you hear her? I've been crunching the numbers and you've lost a lot of money. Shut the fuck up, bitch.
Yeah,
go fucking do a fucking fitness show or something. Get the fuck off my television screen because you're worthless.
Is it bad that every time I see that, I just want Titus to one day to just be like, bitch, shut the fuck up?
That would make it entertaining.
That would be so good. It's never going to happen.
If he turned into her pimp, because Godfather got married. Dude, on Raw 25, Godfather said he got married and settled down. You put a pimp hat on fucking Titus and have her running the stable, and he backhands her and says, bitch, shut your trap. I will fucking lose my mind.
Bro, they should do that, and Apollo's the muscle.
Apollo's the drag queen. Just flip on your dick, bro.
Oh my god, book it. Somebody fucking book it. Oh, it's fucking amazing. Oh, no, no, Titus will...
That's what Titus Worldwide should really be. It's a worldwide pimp.
Oh my god. Pimpin' worldwide, bro. Pimpin' worldwide. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm laughing my ass off right now.
I'll slap that new Botox right out your face. You want to crunch some numbers, get these hoes out here, get me my money.
Yeah. You ain't crunching numbers hard enough because I ain't getting that profit, bitch.
Apollo.
Are we going to wrap this shit up? I figured you guys wouldn't even notice that was gone because Tim never stops talking.
Put on that pink wig I like.
Drake, calm down. Who's your most disappointing?
JP. I don't know who I don't know. I guess Bailey.
Are you gonna go with Bailey too?
I don't fucking know because there's not too many people. I don't. I would say Jinder, but I guess he fucking came along somewhat. But they should have never put the title on him. Whoever did that is legitimately retarded, and I'm not going to be politically correct.
You're gonna start worried about being politically correct now. It's a little late for that.
Correct, right?
I don't know, like
prick and
right. Honestly, all those things they were warranted. They needed to be said. You know, the community needed to know.
Well,
they
I
were
said some pretty
things.
ridiculous shit while you were taking a piss, So
I figured he wouldn't even know. I didn't have to say anything. You would just keep talking, and it wouldn't even matter.
No, that's why I asked what his was. So that's why I'm asking. So you're gonna go with Bailey? Because another name I throw on the list, honestly, I put Shinsuke's name on there.
I was thinking Shinsuke a little bit, only because I want to see the strong style. But I think he's on the fence. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I wouldn't put him as most disappointing, but I think he's there. Who you gonna say?
So was Bailey only because I literally gave you her shirt because I was that disappointing.
True, it's like a brand new shirt. Too.
Hold on, I might have to be an Indian giver. I kind of want to back because I saw an interview with her and in real life just talking about how much of a fan of wrestling she is, and she's just so awesome and wonderful, and I just really do want to give her a hug. I love her.
I think I've wore it once.
Okay, I really. What's funny is like she really is that awesome and adorable and lovable.
Well,
like, Bailey is awesome, but it's just her career right now is in the pooper. But she'll come back from it.
Yeah. I think Bobby Roode is a disappointment.
I think that he could be up there. His stuff
here's why.
Actually, interesting because I have mixed feelings on Bobby Roode.
So do I. But I think he could fall into the disappointment category, and this is why. On NXT, he had a character. We understood what glorious meant. Glorious meant, I'm better than you. I wear suits. I have nice house. I have a nice watch. I'm going to bring luminaries to this crowd. That's glorious.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey, what
so
does luminaries mean?
the song's over. So when he goes to the main roster, he has to be face. But we don't know. The casual viewer doesn't know what glorious means. They don't know what Bobby Roode's about. And last week made no sense at all. If you're hurt, injured, just got beat up after a match, why would you want a match? I don't get it. And I don't get Jinder saying no, because that's dumb. But I digress. I think Bobby Roode could be looked at as maybe not a disappointment, but like he kind of went downhill a little bit after getting called up.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I'm actually gonna neither agree nor disagree, but I'm going to say that it's definitely different. I'm just gonna chalk it up to it's fucking weird and awkward. I still love the guy. I was still happy he won the U.S. title. But I think what mostly the problem with him is, I'm not even saying it's necessarily bad that he's a fucking face. I think he can be a face. It's just that there's no backstory or explanation for why he is glorious. And
Exactly.
at that point, I agree with you. I don't even think it's bad. I don't think it's good. I just think it's fucking confusing. And I think we just need more explanation. That's all.
Right.
Yeah, no, I agree.
That's why I'm on the fence, because it's weird, but it's good, but it's just like, why is this fuck coming out in robes? I mean, for the casual fan who would just tune in, it's like, oh shit, Rick Rude had a son! That's what they're thinking.
True. I can get your point.
I mean, if I fucking am a casual fan, if I watched back then, I would assume, because he kind of looks like Rick Rude. Why does he even have the name Rude? I don't understand it. I would say it's Rick Rude.
Like him.
Well, there you go. It's Rick Rude's son, and he's fucking in a robe for some reason. The end? I don't know. He stole. Wait, did Rick Rude ever even wear a robe? So it's like he's Rick Rude, but wearing Ric Flair's robe. Because I don't remember.
Bobby started wearing robes because no one else was wearing robes anymore.
True. Well, that was an era where there was no robes.
Because he
But
became
Rick Rude,
a tag team wrestler.
but Rick Rude never wore a robe, right? Rick Rude never wore a robe.
No, I think he wore robes. Yeah, he wore robes. Yeah, because
he was during the robe era.
Yeah, that was
Rick Rude, Ric Flair.
So it's just, I'm the casual viewer, right? I turn on USA and SmackDown USA. Oh, look, it's Rick Rude's son. I mean, so it's goofy. They should give more backstory. I agree.
No, I get what you're saying, but let's we got two more categories we're gonna get through because this is running late and I'm fucking starting to fall asleep. I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna go. This is gonna be a quick one.
Yeah, I'm a little over this.
This is gonna be worst male or female superstar. I'm just gonna condense it into one. It could be anybody.
Well, we know what Drake's gonna pick.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Who are you picking, Drake? I think I know who you're gonna pick.
Wait, worst male or female? Which one?
Either or.
What? You think I was gonna say gender?
Yes.
Yes.
Seeing it as the first name that pops to your head.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think it's hard to. Well, it's hard for me to. It's difficult because I feel like towards the end, I feel like once he lost the title a couple months ago, I feel like he started. I think his match with AJ was actually pretty good. Like he kind of started to come around a little bit. But if I had to choose, I mean, shit, man. I guess I would choose him because I don't know. I think like there's not been, unless you want me to say, like, who do you want me to say? Kurt Hawkins?
Don't take. That's who I was gonna fucking pick.
Okay, then I want that. I mean, it could be anybody of any relevancy. Like it doesn't matter if they're mid carder, main eventer, fucking jobber. Right?
Anybody.
Correct?
I don't give a fuck. If who had the worst year?
Oh wait, fuck.
Wait, worst year, or like in the like how like everybody else thinks, or like worst year personally, like how I
just
think?
how you think. Who had the worst year? Because I'm choosing Kurt Hawkins because I just hate Kurt Hawkins. I have no interest.
Well, I hate Jinder, but he had an amazing year. That's why it's like hard for me to fucking choose him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can't choose him for worst year because he was a WWE champion. How do you choose him for worst?
I hated Jinder the most in 2017. I will say that, folks. But I can't choose him as the worst, having the worst year because he had an amazing year. So I don't fucking know, man. I don't know. I mean, like, who I think had the worst year. I mean, yeah, Kurt Hawkins, but you're choosing him. I don't fucking know. I
You
need
can
to
choose
think
Kurt
about
Hawkins. You can choose Hawkins if you want. I just
No.
personally don't like Kurt Hawkins. I think he's a shitty wrestler.
I personally don't like Jinder. I think he's a shit wrestler.
I mean, you can choose Jinder if you want. Nobody's judging you if you choose Jinder.
Well, okay, listen. I personally hate Jinder, and I personally think he sucks, and I think I think that he made 2017 on SmackDown horrible and unwatchable for the most part. But personally, he had an amazing year.
You realize I've already wrote down Jinder Mahal.
All right. Well, personally, okay, but you said who I think. But you asked me who I think had the worst year. That doesn't make sense if I say Jinder because Jinder had the best year.
Drake, nobody cares. You can pick him. It's all right.
I'm just saying that it doesn't make sense. Fine, I'll go with Jinder because I hate the fucking idiot.
All right, JP, who you going with?
Going back to breakout star, I want to say Mojo Rawley.
Oh god, he's fucking terrible.
No, he's great as a heel.
I'll agree with that. I will agree with that.
I will go back to what we're talking about. Who had the worst year in WWE in 2017? And there are 3 tag teams that come to my mind. The Club.
Yeah.
Heath Slater and Rhino.
Yeah.
But I think the one that takes the cake, because there was so much potential each time they were introduced on TV, is the Revival.
Yeah.
The Revival had the worst year in WWE. And hopefully, in 2018, they won't get riddled with injuries, and they will be able to show the world what they can do.
I agree. That's a good pick.
That was just life giving him a fucking shit hand. You know, that was just one was injured, one had a jaw injury, one had a shoulder injury. Now they're back. You know what's fucked up? Did you hear that Enzo was supposed to be the one that got fed to DX the other night, but instead it was the rivalry because Enzo wasn't there for all the bullshit? Did you guys hear that?
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, but at least they got the rub, man. I mean, like, every time they were on screen and did something, it was good. But
technically, they were in a main event angle.
Year in WWE because they had the most potential. They showed great things,
but
they kept getting fucked.
You chose 3 people, JP. That doesn't make sense. You chose 3 people.
No, those were just honorable mentions.
No, I was leading up to 1.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. All right. Well,
we talked about Kurt Hawkins and Jinder for 20 fucking minutes.
So.
All right. Well,
we're the ones here listening to this right now. It doesn't fucking matter what we say.
All right. Well, let's just finish this up with match of the year.
But I still don't think I should have chose Jinder because we're supposed to say who had the worst fucking year, and he didn't.
All right. Well, choose somebody else. I don't care at this point.
I don't know because no one else really fucking had a terrible year. Other than fucking Kurt Hawkins. Well, let's hear what JP says, and then maybe we'll give me more ideas. I don't.
Well, he chose the Revival.
He did.
Yes.
I thought he was. I thought he said he was leading up to it.
Yeah, because he said I picked 3 people.
Oh, I thought you were saying that that you were gonna. I thought you were transitioning them into somebody else. So I didn't know that you chose the Revival. I thought we said superstar, not tag team. I don't fucking know. That's not a superstar. That's a tag team. But okay.
It doesn't matter.
It's an act in WWE.
Can we just finish? Can we just finish this, please?
Yes. Best match: Pete Dunne versus Tyler Bate.
Yep, agree. That's my pick also.
I agree too.
Yeah, I mean you could argue Cena versus Styles, but for the time, for only having 15 minutes, they killed it.
Oh shit, that was only 15 minutes. It didn't even seem like it. Did you say 30?
No, it's 15 minutes, bro. I'm serious. Go back and watch it.
I thought JP just said 30. What did he just say?
No, that was the Styles match.
Oh, Styles and Cena had 30 minutes.
Yeah, they had 30 minutes. The other one only had 15.
And how, dude? Even actually, you can even argue their match. I think it was the last episode of 2017 NXT.
That was a great match. Yeah.
Yeah, Dunn and Bate had another great match at Full Sail. Wasn't that awesome? That's up there too, in my opinion.
That's a pretty good.
Gargano and Pete.
That was a great match. You could even say Gargano Hero. That was a pretty good match.
Yes, dude. Yeah, that was a great match.
Giving great stuff.
I mean, there's a lot of great matches throughout the whole year, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys.
Wait, did we not mention Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black?
That's awesome. A great one too, no doubt.
That would be my second.
And the War Games match. The War Games match was awesome. Come on,
War
guys.
Games is up there. The tag team Hell in a Cell. The Hell in a Cell with Shane and KO. There's a lot of great matches.
Versus Becky Lynch. Come on.
there's a lot of great matches. There is.
Hey,
but
I'm gonna be honest. I miss James Ellsworth. They're fucking dumb for firing him. I know JP never liked him, but I thought he was fucking hilarious and awesome.
He showed up. So do you know that they had that match? It was Austin Aries versus Pete Dunne up in Canada. He fucking interfered in the match. He interfered in that match, bro.
Yeah, because he won the Santino fucking Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Stupid to fucking fire him. Honestly, he was one of the most entertaining parts of SmackDown for the last part of a year. So honestly, he made SmackDown for me. Him and Carmella. Like, he only started to get annoying when he was getting involved in the main event scene, like every week. But ever since he's been with Carmella, I loved it. Like, in my opinion, they're dumb, dude. Fucking Ellsworth is ratings, man. I'm sorry.
No, I completely agree. But with Drake, JP, I think it's time. This has been a great episode.
3 fucking hours.
JP, thank you for being on. This was a fucking marathon of an episode.
I loved every minute of it.
Oh, it was good throughout.
I did it.
Definitely our longest conversation so far. It just in general for any of the podcasts. Like I said, this was a marathon, but it was fun.
This will be on YouTube as soon as this is over.
Yep, this is available as soon as it's available. Me and Drake.
I know you're gonna go listen to it. I don't care.
I listen to it back.
I've actually never listened back to a full episode. To be honest with you,
I have to sometimes just first audio quality. What you saying, JP?
Could you send it to me?
Yes, I will send it to you because this has been the Phenomenal Podcast, episode 33, live on the Goonland Productions YouTube page. We are live. We try to be every week, but sometimes it's every other week. This life just happens, man. But this happens on our YouTube page. If you want to hear about one that we go live, just see some random shit that I like to talk about. I've been a lot of fucking Enzo Amore stuff on the Twitter. So if you want to see that on the Twitter, go over to twitter.com @PhenomPodcast, facebook.com/PhenomenalPodcast. Me and Drake have been talking about, we need to get the SoundCloud and the iTunes back up. So we're going to be working on that. And we're going to try to get the fucking prior episodes on the YouTube just so they're all available, so you guys can go back and listen to it. So if we do get famous one day, the whole catalog is available. But thank you, JP, for being on the episode with us. It's always appreciated. We need to get you back on more often.
No problem. Thank you for having me, guys.
Drake, thank you for being on for this fucking 3 hour of a marathon. I promise not to do these to you every week.
Oh, that's okay. Normally I'd be there in person. I just, having to wait till 6:30, 7 o'clock thing, kind of threw me off. But normally I would do it with you in person, No,
that's understandable. But it's we did it. We fucking did it. When we talked about it in the text, I didn't think we were going to be able to do it, but we did it. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been a Phenomenal Podcast, and we will see you next week.
Okay. Is Tim gone?